Yeah, that shit slap, bro. Hey, man. Salute to them, bro. Hey, go support them, dog. They got some dope mixes, bro. And it's whatever you want to donate to them. Marcus Murray Productions. Find them on IG. You leave a comment. They send you the link. And it's whatever you think is fair. They just want to be supported, bro, like everybody else. And that shit hard, bro. At first, I thought that was just like fake. Actually, somebody found it and sent it to me. Man, it ain't just that song, bro. It's like it's a whole album. Man, that shit go hard, bro. I'm sorry, that's ain't got nothing to do with boxing, but if you like music, you understand me. Then you get where I'm coming from. Luther Marcus Murray, man. Real talk. They doing big things, bro. Other than that, what's going on with y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in to the judges table. You understand me? And first and foremost, we always gonna give our appreciation to all the newcomers, to all the new subscribers, bro. Salutes to y'all, man. Let that extendo out. Yeah. We moving along. Definitely doing our thing. Like I said, I think it's right. Can't get this backwards. Yeah, there we is. 1641. I'm with it. Let's keep it moving so y'all know the rules. Make sure you come through when you in. Why you in here? Hit the like button. It ain't hard. Hit the like button. Second, if you're new, you want to be part of the chat, hit that subscribe button. All right? So you can be part of the chat, hit that link, and give your opinion on any topic dealing with the boxing conversation or, it's Friday. We talk a lot, bro, on Fridays. It may go to whatever. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you click that link and come on through, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, this fire, bro. It's called MJ Flips Deluxe. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, we already got somebody coming up on stage. Salute to my boy, none other Punch. What's up, Brody?
What's up, bro? How you doing tonight?
What's going on with you, baby?
Oh, same old shit, in the mood to talk some boxing, you know what I mean? I was wondering if somebody was gonna get on tonight, nigga. How you feeling?
Man, every Friday I'm guaranteed to go on at 10:15, bro. That day will never change.
11:15 for me. My mind is always fucked up from that.
Yeah, man. It's that day. That's the day I always started on. Monday might, Wednesday might, but Friday I ain't missing. That's from the time I started this channel.
And so I know you've seen the weigh-in.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. Sometimes, they say mother knows best. Sometimes fathers know best.
Yeah, bro.
The last fight, his dad told him that shit was, what'd he tell him? You cutting that weight, you're not going to be able to do it.
I'm going to be able to do it.
You're not going to, it's just too dangerous to go down. Remember he told him that shit?
And I was saying that, like, this don't feel right because you got one dad in the corner, you know what I mean, supporting the hell out of his son. The other dad is absent in the other corner. And it's like, bro, the two dads have such an ill rivalry that it's crazy that Eubanks ain't there over, like, the Eubanks over there, bro.
But that's the... That's the difference. That's the difference between a savage and a controlled savage. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, I don't know if y'all follow Eubank Jr. YouTube channel, but my dude be on some shit over there, bro.
He's a real ass dude, bro.
And from time to time, he show you. Yeah, but from time to time, he show you what I'm showing you is what I want you to see. It's a gangster underneath all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
God, it is, bro.
So, but he tells his son, like, okay, if you rich and you know your sons ain't have to go through the trials and tribulations that you went through, right? They didn't have the necessary building blocks that made you that savage, right? A dad could see, like, dude, you talk that shit, but you reading about that shit, right?
Really ain't about that.
Dealing with the Benns over there, they savages, and they don't give a fuck. You see what I'm saying? Daddy still don't give a fuck. You saw him put a choke Eubank Jr., right? Went straight for his throat. Like, don't you ever come to my son? Like, he's there. See, he ain't worried about being civilized. Ain't worried about being fucking civilized. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, he I think his dad know the level your mind has to be at to deal with that type shit. This ain't no you get to run a call, tell daddy, or they cheated, or he know none of that shit's flying. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
His dad even said the first time he feel like his own father said he felt like Conor Benn was set up. He said that shit wasn't gonna happen either way. He said he felt like set up. He said, but the level of savagery, goddamn me, I get it. He said, but that's Ben. He got his own father. My son. Who the fuck told you? Who taught you that? Like, read between the lines. Like, nigga, you was not raised like that, G.
Like, yeah, when he smacked him with that egg, his dad wasn't feeling that at all.
Yeah, like, where'd you learn that, bro?
Like, nigga, that's not boxing, bro. What the fuck?
So, like, that's what I'm taking from it.
Man, that's how your dad gotta be. He gotta keep you grounded, bro.
Yeah, man.
But you can see like arrogance coming off of Eubank Jr. and like you can see the undiscipline when he misses weight, bro. Like, damn, bro, you still missing weight.
I don't think it's discipline. I think the nigga just can't do it. I think he just can't. Like, I think his dad was right. He ain't been that small, and I don't know how long. He is not gonna be able to do it, and he called it. It got down to that last fucking shit, and he couldn't do it.
Nope. Fat costing what?
Did you see his face? Did you see his face when they were staring at each other, bro? Like he couldn't even look tough. He had nothing left.
You know them as like, bro. He looked drained in the motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, he looked like a zombie, bro. He had nothing left to give. Like his face, he was just staring like a zombie. Just,
I'm gonna say,
you know what I'm saying?
That make it way more interesting for me though now because it gives them both an advantage now because Ben ain't fought in 2 years and Eubanks came in overweight. So it's like they both got an advantage in the fight now. Would make it way more interesting because me coming into the fight, I was leaning towards Eubanks.
Yeah, Conor came underweight.
Conor came in like 156.
Yeah, he came underweight.
So, but remember, he's
g'day.
What's good, Mark?
7, so what up, Mark?
Yeah. Like me and Punch were just talking. Yeah, we were just talking just before you come on live, and like I said a week ago, I would have picked Eubanks just because he's the bigger man, But watching him at that weigh-in yesterday, I thought, oh, he don't look good.
Yeah,
whereas Ben looked good and strong, So
yeah, like he had walk around weight.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Ben now.
That's what Ben looked like to me. Like he put on some weight, but he also looked like he didn't have to put on much weight. Like that weight is on top of whatever his walk around weight was anyway. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He looked real comfortable.
3.5 pound under, or 4.5 pound, or something under 160. So and look good.
Right, and that could have been cautious because they got the little 10-pound, you know what I'm saying, clause or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they're going by that. But
here's a question that I asked Mark earlier. It's like maybe you could give me an answer. Now, Eubanks Jr. lost $500,000 for coming in overweight.
Man, bro, the omelet gets more and more expensive, don't it?
Eddie Hearn's pocket, or do I go in the?
No, they go to Conor pocket. That goes to Conor, bro. But Eddie getting a piece of it. Eddie gonna get a piece of it, but primarily supposed to go to the fighter. That's 500,000. I've never, bro. The way they said that shit, right? 160.0.5 ounce. What the fuck is that?
Yo.
This dude paid $100,000 per. What is that? A mill ounce? What? I don't know, but that's
like per point pound. It was like $100,000. It was crazy,
bruh. I was like, they wrong.
Contract, man. I'm telling you, Conor Benn.
No, it was in the contract. You making weight is making weight, bro.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, they knew he wasn't gonna be able to make that weight. That's why Ben ain't. It's easier to move up than it is to maintain a weight that you can't make.
Facts. So, like, you know what I'm saying? It's off the chain to see that how this shit talking went. The egg slap to that. Danner got fined for that. Then you finally get fined for the weight. Like I said, this omelet keep on getting more and more expensive for this boy. It's not.
I wonder how much he's getting paid. How much? I wonder what you.
I don't know.
Person
I don't know. This will be the one where I want to know. You just paid half a million.
I was gonna say that's a lot of money to lose.
I'm actually looking into it right now, bro, because I want to know.
And then if you lose too, oh my God, bro.
He said. He said that shit on Piers Morgan, nigga. He said, if I lose, I'm retiring.
But I think he want to do that anyways, though. Because think about it.
And
Why
that's
would he?
what, yeah, like
If
when they
Conor
when the
being really
cares back,
cheated,
when a
if
fighter's
Conor,
even thinking retirement, bro, it's
right,
already a bad sign.
exactly. Because think about it. If Conor being really cheated, right? Why would you revisit the fighting if it wasn't for a cash out? So the money had to be there. You feel me?
Because this is hands down the
Yeah.
biggest money fight he ever had. That's why I'm looking at
It's gonna be the biggest
It's
fight
gonna.
of both of them.
It's not a
There's got to be
guaranteed
some.
number,
There's
but
got to
a
be some good
speculated
money.
number between
They're
$2 and
fighting
$8 million. You hear me?
65,000 people at the fight, so
Yeah,
that's a
Right.
lot of that's a lot of gate money.
It's rumored to he's rumored to be making, both of them was rumored to be making between $2 and $10 million.
Or
Yeah, but if it's
between
only $2
2 and
million
10.
and you lose, if you're
I'm
losing
not saying the
$500,000 out
exact
of
number,
two,
just between there. So I guess it's got to do with like
No, I think it
values
got
and all that shit.
it gotta. I think Eubank
I would
gotta
say
needs to be
probably
getting
starting
10.
at $4 million a piece, probably.
Probably
but
because 2 is hard. Come on, man.
500,000
2 is
out of
treat him like a
500,000 out of 2 million is a lot, but 500,000 out of 10 million, that's nothing.
yeah.
It's not
And
nothing.
if they
Getting
say
up to
if he get 2
$10,
million, bro, I don't think that, bro. That's some
I think they
low
probably
balling
getting at
shit.
least $6 million, man.
Yeah, bro, I can see that. Now, if you want to tell me you giving kind of being like 3 million, because this is kind of a
I think
redemption
Carter
fight
Benn
for him.
probably getting like 3.5, but they
Yeah,
say
because it's like a redemption fight for him. But if he get more than that, shit, congratulations to him. I won't get paid as much as they can, because this is going to be a motherfucker. Let me tell you something that really it sold me today, bruh. They found the smallest ring in fucking history, bruh.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
ring led to these niggas ain't gonna have no choice but to scrap.
I think that was something Connor Benn put in there, nigga. You can't run from me.
Can't run.
Eubank like
Can't
to fight on
run,
that
bro.
back foot, boy. So Connor Benn try and slow that down.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm like, woo, yeah, I'm watching this shit.
Gonna be a good one.
Ring like
That's what I
this.
say. A lot of things that the fight wasn't too interesting to me until this week. And I was like, oh shit, it's just getting crazy now. I'm gonna check this shit out.
Kind of being legit like he wanted, but it's just like the thing about Eubank that blows me is he tries to mesh that classical way of talking like his father with some gangster shit. It don't go well for me. You know what I'm saying?
But you got, you know, he was going to inherit that pompous shit though.
Yeah, that fucking long, philosophical, winded, but trying to be tough at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with it. Now when his dad did it,
that about the British, how they could be gangsters but still be classy. I always admired
but he too slow along with it. Like his dad, he's slow along with it, but he ain't trying to be too gangster. Now when he got gangster, all that shit went out the window. He was just, because dad Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? You know, all that rascal and all that shit come out.
Look, you'll see that Jamaican come out that nigga real fast, bro.
Hell yeah. You know what I mean? So like, that's what stole me off about him, and the way he switched trainers. Goddamn, boy.
I mean, Roy Jones is a really good trainer though, and he did make Ben look.
Womack made him look the best.
Womack definitely made him look the best, but Womack is busy as shit. And then when Womack went to jail, he kind of broke ties with him.
Yeah, he can't go over there. He ain't going back over there.
He can't go back to England no more, so he can't use Womack no more.
Yeah, but he made him look the best.
I mean, I still don't understand how you accidentally pack a strap.
Hey, I ain't gonna say what it is, but bruh.
Outlaw guns, nigga. You should know where you going.
Hey, true story. If I picked up the wrong backpack and went to the mall with it, I did.
In the States, you can get away with that better, but England, nigga, they're outlawed.
So in a way, I was like, damn, because I got in the car, threw it in the back seat, got back out, and I was like, this ain't the right one. What the fuck? Oh, like, yeah, put this back in the car. Hurry up.
Surely you can feel that weight in that backpack. Slick.
I was rushing because I was going to the store. I was going to trade some sneakers in.
I mean, even a handgun still got a bit of weight.
I was trading them in. My bad. I was going to meet somebody to sell some sneakers, take that money and get the sneakers I want. But when I got out the car, and you know how you swing your backpack on like that, and it's hit my back, I said, hold on, bro. Woo! Put that shit back. I gotta go all the way back home and get these shoes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Had the wrong one. Let's just say that's the emergency backpack.
So you can't carry it around with you.
No, a handgun. I can carry a handgun all the fuck I want.
Yeah, I go everywhere.
That had my SBR in there.
Like, I don't carry guns when I'm going to like parties and shit because I can't be drunk because my temper.
See, Mark, we got
so I
what's an SBR?
90% of the time,
Short barrel rifle.
Around with guns. You can't walk around with no
Fucking
rifle
hell.
on you. Like,
Slick like a
SBR
fucking army
code
over
you
it.
gotta carry a concealed license. You can walk around with a gun.
Yeah, but the
Not a rifle.
SBR,
Not no
my
rifle.
Scorpion, my Scorpion
have a
got a
rifle in
fold
your
up
house.
stock on it, so it just fit
Like,
right in
I
my
got an AR
backpack.
in
You
my
know what
house,
I'm saying?
But you can't like walk around with the AR. Like, but if somebody come in your crib though, you can pull that AR on their ass.
Yeah, you can walk around with AR. Shit, motherfucker, that motherfucker
There's
in
a
your
permit you
backpack.
gotta have to do it. But
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, as
But
long as you got
like
that
you said,
concealed
if you
carry,
go to
you
the,
good.
if you go to the mall, you can still take your handgun.
No, you're not supposed to see, like, in certain places,
supposed to
you're
leave
not
it in the
still
car.
bring it. You're supposed to leave it in the car.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to go in.
okay.
It'll have it on the
People
front door,
still
like, no
do
weapons
that
allowed
shit,
and shit.
though, but yeah, you supposed to leave your shit in the car.
Yeah, like Walmart say don't bring that motherfucker in there. But man, let me tell you, everybody and their mama at Walmart be having it. I be seeing
Everybody
them.
and their mama at Walmart got gun on.
Yeah, well, how are they going to know unless you walk through a metal detector?
No, because the metal detectors they got is for
It's
to
for
pick
the
up the shit
shopping
you
thing.
stealing, shoplifting.
Yeah,
It ain't
they're
just
theft
metal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. To stop people doing it, you'd put a metal detector up at the front door, and you know.
Yeah, so like it is what it is. But yeah, I remember that. So it can happen. It can happen, bro. I sure picked up, rushing out the door, had it by the handle, and threw it in the back seat with the like. Okay, let me find this dude. Put it on my back and hit the back of my back. Said, "Woo, that didn't feel right." Open up. Said, "God damn."
2 weeks ago, there was a game of football, Australian rules football at our biggest football ground over in Victoria. The MCG holds 100,000, 108,000 people or something. There was 2 dudes got caught in the in the crowd with 2 loaded pistols.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
no, you don't do that. Cause see, you got to
well,
be
you
smart about
definitely
that.
don't do it here.
Oh hell no! You don't bring
You
them to
definitely
You don't do that
don't do
here.
that
You don't
shit
do
here.
You ain't get no
No,
gun in
that's
no
right.
baseball, none of that shit, boy. And
I don't
even
know
if
what
you did, you don't want to get caught with
I
that
don't-
shit because
That's
you
the one they call
automatically
it.
a terrorist at that point.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I don't know what these
it
blokes were
works.
thinking,
Like,
but
I don't know what it's like in Australia, Mark, but in here, say in America, say you pull a gun on a motherfucker in like a baseball stadium or something, they gonna
a
charge
rap.
you with attempted murder on everybody that's in the area.
Yeah, it's a rap, bro. Brandishing a
So
weapon.
if you do that
It's
shit in
so
front
much
of
shit
50
that you ain't gonna
people,
get away with on that. That's
everybody
a
that's
different
in the
level, bro.
vicinity, you're gonna get charged with
yeah.
attempted murder on.
I don't know
Yeah.
how these blokes. I don't know how these blokes got caught. Like, because if they had pulled them out, they'd be all over the newspapers.
They probably was excited somebody saw it under their shirt or something
Yep, somebody
and
maybe.
reported it. Because like
Yeah,
arenas here, I don't know if y'all arenas got that where it be like, if you see something wrong, just text. Don't say nothing, but just text such. You know what I'm saying?
But in Australia, well, we've explained it to you before. It's anal as hell with guns over here. That's a big no-no. To even walk around in public with one, let alone go to a packed football ground.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking that's probably big news over there because that shit don't happen on
Hell
the
yeah, I know it
Well,
is.
it was when it happened, but I've not heard nothing since. So I don't know whether you, like you said, that over there you'd get charged with a terrorism thing or whatever.
Yeah,
they didn't shoot. They didn't shoot
bring a
anybody.
gun into a
I don't even
populated
know if
area
they.
like that, bro. You like, yeah, hell yeah.
You ain't
I
even
don't
got
even know if they pulled them out. I don't even know if they pulled them out. Like I said, I don't know how they got caught, but there was 2 blokes,
like,
and they were together. So I don't know what the
you
fuck
don't
they
even
were.
got to shoot. It's the fact that you got caught in the stadium
Yeah.
with all of those people.
All
What the
those
fuck was you here for with that gun? That's it. It's a wrap.
I'd say Australian laws would be similar to England's laws because guns are big no-nos over there too.
Man, let me tell you something. They be doing
they're
some
going to be in
crazy
the shit.
stuff. But I ain't trying to get off too much off the subject. But
leader in stabbings.
yeah, that's what I was saying. They be on some, man, fuck that shit, bro. Stabbing no feel,
I went to England, man. My first 2 days in England, I got a knife pulled on me. Motherfuckers pull knives like before they'll punch you in England. It's just crazy.
I'm like, they need a knife law. What the fuck? These motherfuckers
They need knife laws
up
in England, nigga.
And that shit crazy.
And if a motherfucker pulls
They
that
just
knife
bought.
on you,
They just bought a law in. They just bought a law in here in Western Australia. If you're caught carrying a knife, because there's been quite a few stabbings going on. If you're caught carrying a blade, because you used to be able to carry like a pocket knife, you know what I mean?
Right.
A little flip out, small pocket knife. You used to be able. My mate was wearing one the other day when he came around. I said to him, "You can't be fucking wearing that thing anymore." He reckoned it was bullshit. He'd never heard of it. I said, "I'm telling you now, it's $35,000 on the spot fine."
God damn.
I don't know if he's still carrying it or not, but I told him to get rid of it.
We'll get back to the boxing though, but
I think what's the limit? It's like 7 inches or 6
No,
inches?
the law, this is how they do it. If it's bigger than the palm of your hand,
You can't
Don't
carry it.
fucking carry it, bro.
Can't carry
That
it.
is the dumbest shit here because we can carry pistols.
They won't
They
take you
catch
to
you with a
jail.
blade
They don't
longer than
take you
your
with a
hand,
knife.
longer than palm of your
They'll
hand.
just
You
take
going to
it off
jail.
you. Like most of the
That's
time,
crazy.
cops will just take that off you, but sometimes they'll take you to jail for that shit.
Yeah, if they's mad, they'll take your ass to jail, bro. And that's the weirdest shit ever,
Most
bro.
of the time, they'll just take that shit off you. I got a couple knives took off me by cops.
But yeah, man. But I think this is gonna be a good fight. And then I was actually looked at the card. The card for a brick card, it ain't bad, bro. It
No,
ain't
it's gonna be
bad.
a card. Hey,
Yeah.
hold up. So is this the Morel is on this card, ain't he?
No, Morrell ain't on this card. Morrell
But
on the May
Yardy,
2nd.
Ain't he? I
No,
want to
that,
see if he
Yardy's
bounce
fighting
back
on
after
this
that
card,
big
isn't he?
ass whooping.
yeah, Yardy on this card, but he fight on the Shakur Stevenson card.
Oh,
That's the card Morel's on. Morel's
Morrell
on
on
that.
the Shakur Stevenson card. With Edgar Berlanga and
Yeah.
all them. But this one got Chris Billiam Smith
Who is
and Brandon
Berlanga about to
Glatton.
fight?
That's gonna be a good fight
He
to
about to
start it
fight
off.
that Saudi Arabian dude.
Say what?
Berlanga about to fight that Saudi Arabian dude.
Yeah, Hamza. Yeah. Shiraz.
T-Rex, yeah.
Yeah, he was. I watched him talking and shit at the
That's gonna
press
be a
conference
good
and
fight.
shit.
Let's see
He
if
said he been
Berlanga.
kind of being.
If
He
you
was
lose to
talking about
Hamza,
his
you're
weight,
trash.
but he was talking about his weight that he was killing himself. He was like, man, I'm picking kind of being because after seeing how Eubank came out, he's like, I know how that shit feel, bro. He not gonna be. He basically said he not gonna be 100% tomorrow. He was like, he ain't.
Yeah.
If it
I
took
can't
this much
believe
out of him,
I can't believe what the boxers go through to make these stupid weights that they're trying to
Yeah,
make.
bro. That's why I
To me,
changed
it's
my
crazy.
whole opinion on it. Like I was going leaning towards Eubanks, but after seeing that, bro, it's like I don't know, dog.
Fucking making
yeah,
weight seems to be harder than the actual fighting, you know? Seems
yeah,
crazy.
hell yeah.
It's
That's
like
what,
that in all the
man.
sports where they got to
I
cut
mean,
weight. Like all the
some of the
Especially
states,
UFC, bro.
some of the states you've seen Devin Haney walk in, you know, when he was trying to make 135 still. I mean, far out. And what's
Yeah,
his
he
name?
was killing
Boots, even
himself to make
Boots as
that
well.
weight.
and
It's
that
crazy.
it be killing me. Like today's day is weird. They be like, I can make the weight. I make the weight with no problem. Then you get up there looking like the damn Oscar fucking trophy. Like what the fuck? You're not making weight. You killing yourself. Making weight to me naturally, and when you got to start taking salt baths and wrapping yourself up in hot blankets and shit like that, bro. Nah, man, that's not you making shit comfortable, bro.
I saw a small video yesterday. Eubank's taken off this, like, it was like a plastic raincoat sort of thing.
Yeah, that's
And
a sauna suit.
when he took the top off, it had looked like someone had poured a bucket of water inside of it. When he
That's
took it
the
off, the
damn
water,
sauna suit. Yep.
the sweat that come out of it was insane.
I don't watch motherfuckers sleep in trash bags, bro. Put a trash bag on. No lie, bro. Like motherfuckers will do anything to make that weight to get that payday, bro. But it's just like it's not natural, bro. I watch
Well,
motherfuckers like Janabek fainted because of that shit, bro.
yeah, that's right. But and
Dehydrating.
even
That
I don't
shit
know
get.
how long Tim Zoo.
I
I don't know
can't
how long
torture
he's going to be at
myself like that.
54 because he said his last weight cut was the hardest one he's ever done. So
Right, 100%,
that's
man.
meant to fight.
That's not healthy, and it takes away from the bout. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you
But
got to
having
take some
said that,
ownership in that.
it was probably his longest break from boxing that he's had for 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he got married in the after the Murtazalia fight. So you know what I mean. So maybe it was hard because of that. You know what I mean.
Right.
He hadn't stayed in as good a shape as he normally would have been. Sort of.
That's the name of the game, though. See, once they got away from the shout to 913, shout to one. I see everybody here higher self. I see you. I'm gonna get to y'all comments, but like Nine just said, he said same day weigh-ins, bro. That's gonna force you to take your craft seriously. If people pay attention, right? You see Tank now. Tank a chubby boy, but Tank taking his craft seriously. He may not be fighting the fights we want and stuff like that, but he stays at around his fighting weight. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to go through that. Earl Spence even tried to get a nutritionist. Like motherfuckers start seeing that shit. Even Boost just said he had a nutritionist. Like you got to start taking that shit seriously, bro.
It's like the old saying, isn't it? If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
That's right. That's my favorite saying, bro. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, bro.
Yeah, like no.
Hence why I had that backpack, Mark.
Like Tank's like 135, so he probably walks around at like 140. He ain't gonna be so it don't kill him to get down to 135. Like Boots probably walking around at 150, 157, 155.
I don't know.
60.
I don't know how they're going to cure it
because once 147 pounders walk around at like 155, 160.
Right. True 147 pounders. Right.
I don't know how they're going to fix it though, because even if they go back the same day weigh-ins, these idiots are still going to be trying to fight at unrealistic weights.
Well, here's the
And you
thing.
just-
If you go back to same day, see, here's the thing. You kind of got to weigh out. Think about it like this. Because see, what people don't understand, there's a ceremonial weigh-in. So we knew early today that Eubanks didn't make weight. What everybody saw on TV is a ceremonial weigh-in, which ain't a real weigh-in.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So he had all this time the day before to do this. If it's the day before the fight, you gonna take it more serious because you're not gonna have all that time. You're not they won't, that sanctioning body will not be able to afford to give you that much time that they gave him earlier and be able to be and make a conscious decision that you're gonna be healthy enough to fight. You know what I mean? It's either you gonna be ready or you not, bro. Now, if you were by her, we give you 2 hours, but if you can't get out that 2 hours, then you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll force them. Yeah, I think it'll force them to
go to
do
a
it.
decent. They'd fight at a decent weight, so they're not having to hurt themselves so much to get there.
Now,
But if they were sensible people, they wouldn't be getting punched in the head for a living. So they're going to make decisions that the rest of us probably wouldn't.
Well, I know a lot of people say that, but the thing is, you got some that go for some. Some believe in what the sport really is. You know what I'm saying? Hit, not get hit. And this some just want to go in there
Which
and
is my
fight.
favorite thing about it.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers just want to go in there and throw them. So, you got your two, what they say is two sides to a coin. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, the WBC is the one that changed that rule and everybody else fell in line with it, getting rid of same day weigh-ins and shit. And they said it was because of safety. It wasn't really because of safety. It's because motherfuckers was outgrowing divisions and the money was not there like that. You get what I'm saying? So we'll get them extra time. That's all that shit is. You feel me?
What were they doing back when the same day weigh-ins and you missed weight? What happened then? They cancelled the fight?
No, they give you a couple of hours. It depends how many pounds you was off.
But if you didn't,
it depends how many pounds you were off. If you was off by a shitload of pounds, shit to fight off, bro, because ain't no way
Like
you getting that off.
What Ramos did against Davis, that never let that fight happen.
Right. Fight Sports Talk. What's happening, man?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, brother.
Hey.
Yeah, this weigh-in thing, it's made me almost want to change my pick because originally I thought even if Eubank is a little drained from the weight and the rehydration clause, size matters, but he looks so bad and Conor Benn looks like he hasn't bulked up too much, so looks like it may actually work in his favor. I mean, this fight I never liked it to begin with because it was just a forced super fight, but maybe Benn, if he wins and wins impressively, maybe it'll pay off.
The fight will favor Benn. If Eubank beats Benn, I don't think it does too much for him. But if Benn beats him, it's a great redemption fight for Benn. That's what this is what this fight basically became because of the whole controversy in the first one with the whole steroid shit. Now, if the steroid shit went there and it was just a fight, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I wanted to see it, but it's like, why is this fight happening and for what reason? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it never made sense to begin with because, I was on a radio show this morning, New Zealand time. Chris Eubank will go down as one of the biggest disappointments of this era because, he had one attempt at a world title against George Groves, and this was a past his best George Groves, and he got absolutely smoked. So, and since then, he and his dad didn't even try to challenge one of the other champions. They ducked the best fighters. They only fought a Matt Korobov who got injured, and then again ducked the best guys. So
right, and I think that's why his dad's so hard on because he know his son. Like if you been down that road, you could tell if a guy got the goods or not, whether it's your son or not. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why his dad's so hard on him. Like, bro, you're putting on this masquerade of being this certain guy, but you're not that guy. And I think his dad is trying to say that without saying it. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, well, his dad was very the time when I remember at the time after the Groves fight where again he maybe won 2 rounds in that fight, although no more than that. And his dad was being honest afterwards, saying, "Yeah, my son underperformed. He can do a lot better." And Eubank was saying the most Junior, that is, he was saying the most delusional stuff, saying he thought he won the fight. And And I remember exactly what you said. Like, one was being honest, one was being delusional, and his dad was speaking almost as if his son could learn from this, but his son was trying to act like fighting so passively, despite being so outspoken, was somehow worked for him. And
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not good enough, you're not good enough. But the fact that he never even tried to become a world champion it's disappointing. So you mentioned that, if he wins this fight, it doesn't do much for him. Well, his entire career has been a disappointment.
Let me ask you, do you think he did never try, or you just think promoters just wouldn't give him that shot because they felt like it was going to be a fail? It was going to be it wouldn't sell. It was going to fail.
I don't think they tried, because I mean, the Eubanks, they played the entire boxing game with when Golovkin was being ducked by everybody. Like, they weren't the only guys doing it, but they put on such a, like, they were trying to convince the world they wanted the fight, but the promoters weren't going to pay enough. Like, I mean, that was
right.
It was just con artistry at a new level. So, and because again he got smoked by Groves, I personally don't think they would have even tried. I mean, whether the dad wanted to see more out of his son and they wanted to go for a world champion, I mean, maybe, but I mean, these guys made millions without ever becoming a world champion. So it's like, well, if you can make that much money conning the industry, why take the risk?
That's my point. Okay, now you speaking to what I'm trying to say. That's how I feel like his dad. When his dad saw that, he was like, "You not the goods. Just get your money."
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he's trying to say it without saying it to his son's
I think
face.
that was the test, right, Slick? That was the test.
And that's that right there is like, son, you're a good. But I talk all the time about over here about good boxers, right? Eubanks is a good boxer. He just doesn't have the talents to be a great boxer. You get what I'm saying? And I think his dad saw that. Like, you're a good boxer, son. Get your money. Don't worry about all that hard shit. You're going to make millions anyways. Get the money. You get what I mean? And I think that's why his dad going against him, because I think Eubank wants to prove more than that. But he's long at the tooth already. And he didn't pick the right path. He just didn't, bro. And then the thing is, he had the storyline of the century. The minute he started going against his dad was when he should have went on the proving ground. You get what I'm saying? Like, that would have sold itself. That's a storyline that he didn't need nobody else to include in. Just fight this motherfucker and I'm proving my dad wrong. I'm the shit. I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? But he let that train pass. He, like I said, it's like part of him knows, like, okay, I'm gonna take this fight, get paid, take this fight, get paid. But at the same time, it's like he constantly still wants to prove, like, oh, I'm the shit. But you're really not, bro. You're an enjoyable fighter to watch. You know what I'm saying? It has to be something about you why you keep changing trainers. And I just feel like, in a sense, not being in a great fighter sense, but as a good fighter, he let his career pass him up.
Yeah, but there's not been many sons of great champions that have lived up to their old man status, is there?
No, he's like Chavez. He's like Chavez Jr.
I mean, Floyd Mayweather probably, but I don't know if his old man was even that great anyway. So
no, Floyd outdid his dad. Floyd outdid his dad.
Way better.
Yeah,
like
Floyd outdid Roger. Roger was the dude. Roger was known as the Black Mamba. Yeah, he was the Mexican.
But all the ones we've got now, none of them are even close to their old man. I mean, look at Tim,
like
Connor Benn,
Eubanks, Shane Mosley, son, and all them. You're right. I just felt like, but none of them don't have the built-in storyline that this kid had, like, because his dad been riding his tail. I would have used that, and that would have fueled my fire. I'm about to show everybody. Even if you lost, it would have been the point that he tried. Like, but like my guy Fight Sports Talk, he just, I don't know, bro. And then to think that this is going to catapult his career, no.
It's definitely not. And I mean, I don't. The thing about this fight, which is again why I'm only interested in it for the bad blood, is because Conor Benn isn't going to go far either. I mean, as soon as he signed up for this, I thought I thought he's probably never going back down to welterweight because he's going to put on size. He hasn't put on too much size, so I'm starting to maybe I was wrong there. But I mean, I have a feeling he's actually going to do what Eubank did throughout his career, which is avoid the best fighters. Like he's never going anywhere near Boots Ennis. Like
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
With Conor Benn got room. It's just a matter can Eddie get him across the pond? If he beats some proper names across the pond, coming off beating a bigger man, he may have a shot at being in contention and with the other guys across the pond, whether it be Japanese, whether it be American, whether it be whoever. But if he stays over there in the UK, no, he's gonna be stuck at the level of what he is. Because see, the thing is about both of these cats, they behind their daddy's name. They have to have that defining fight that's gonna separate them from that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one thing to be amongst your peers, like the top in your class, and you need that separation fight. They need a fight to separate themselves from their fathers. And so I think Conor Benn if Conor Benn uses, now don't take this like I'm saying like, oh, this is the greatest win for Conor Benn. I don't think so. But for the optics, yes. To help sell Conor Benn, yes. He beat the bigger man. Yes. He went up and did his thing. Yes. Does he deserve a fight with a name? Yes.
Yeah,
and that's what the fans. That's what the fans are going to see, and that's how a promoter would sell that. You get what I mean? But if he stays in the UK, not too much food Eddie got for him. You know what I mean? For his big names.
Yeah.
He got some busy fights for him over there. You know what I mean? But anything else to catapult him, he has to get him across the water. He has to. And right now is the perfect time because hell, Americans crossing the water over there like now with no problem. So he has to get him that fight. Eddie kind of burnt him over here when he had kind of been come over to Florida and fought like at 11 o'clock in the morning. Like, why'd you do that? Everybody's at work.
Conor Benn versus any of the 147 champions, because they're all American, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But they'd get a lot more money if they went to England to have that fight than they would if he had to go to America to have that fight, you know?
Yeah.
I would think, you know, Barrios or Boots or who's the other one?
Boots, Barrios, Brian Norman.
Norman, yeah. But there'd be more money in a 65,000 stadium fight in England than there would be in America. But will the Americans go to England for that?
Well, right now,
because they're the champion,
paying the money. Eddie is the promoter, but the person that's paying the tab got the money. You know what I'm saying? And Turkey,
but the
Americans
have got the belt, so that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Turkey put that money on the wood. He gonna make it all good.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
So and the thing is too, salute to Brian Norman because he right now he like shit. I'm used to not fighting my backyard. He ain't lying. He go everywhere and fight. He about to go fight Jesse Stocky in Japan. So kudos to him. He get past that. I ain't gonna lie. Him and Brian Norman fight. That will be a fight because Conor Benn is standing there and fight you, bro, and Brian Norman is standing there and fight you. That would be a fantastic fight to watch.
Yeah,
a fantastic fight to watch. And they're around the same height too. Oh my God. That will be a banger. That will be a banger, but that all boils down on what Conor Benn's going to bring to the table tomorrow and how he does what we see a zombie of Eubank, bro. Like, dude, man, I don't know how he gonna fare tomorrow. I don't know how he gonna fare tomorrow.
He's kind of Benn damaging himself though by moving because I mean, what's he going to come in at tomorrow? He's going to probably over 160 tomorrow. Tomorrow
that's the thing. That's the thing.
But can he shrink back to 147?
Yeah, he can. Look, it's not that he has to lose weight. As long as you do it properly. All right. If he just try to hurry up and go back down, he fucking himself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If he take his time and get back down, about 6 months. Take your time, 10 pounds. You know, go on. You can say lose 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Work your way back down. He could do it and still be strong because the way he looked at this face off, man, he didn't look like it. Looked like this is just his natural way. It looked like, to be honest with you, it looked like he walked around already maybe like 152. You get what I'm saying? And he put on like 4 fucking pounds to be within the limit.
Yeah, he didn't look too big, but he looked good. He looked good.
yeah, he didn't look like what boxers look like on weigh-in day. You know what I'm saying? He looked natural. He looked like he's okay and he's fine. So, but tomorrow be the telltale thing. And then, but because this is the flip side, Mark. He could have came in 156 on a contingency plan just so he know he won't blow up past the 10-pound limit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we'll see tomorrow if they let us know the night of the weigh-in, which I hope they do. You know, that's really gonna tell us. You know what I'm saying right there.
I'll be back in a second. I'll just get some exercise equipment.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. But yeah,
Yeah.
but fight sports talk,
sorry.
man. Like, who do you think, like, for real? Do you think Eubank got a chance with Conor Benn? And I asked that like that on purpose.
Yeah, man, I agree. I was picking Eubank to win originally. Excuse me. I was picking Eubank to win because size matters, and I mean, some people forget this. Conor Benn is moving up 2 weight divisions, and usually, you know, for elite fighters, even that doesn't work out well. Like Marquez against Mayweather, Rigondeaux against Loma, Cal Brook against Golovkin, and Jamel Charlo against Canelo. But then the one time it actually did work was Canelo against Sergey Kovalev, and Kovalev was also drained. So
that's why he was kind of a shell of himself at that time.
Yeah, and plus there was a rehydration clause. So
right.
I still here are my thoughts. I still have to favor Eubank because Conor Benn. I mean, there are several things that just I don't want to pick Conor Benn for several reasons. One, he's like you said, he's been coddled. He's had everything his own way, very typical. But now he's getting a step up, designed to make him look good. Like obviously, the only major promoter here is Eddie, and he's really pushing for Benn to win. Yep. And it's just guys who are given the star power treatment at a young age. They just don't typically do well when they're fighting an experienced veteran. But Eubank Jr. is not an elite fighter, and he was knocked out not too long ago. And he's definitely not going to be as fast as he was. So, but also Conor Benn just hasn't looked that good since he failed a test. You know, go figure.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm still slightly favoring Eubank. And also another thing, Eubank was drained, but we've seen fighters. I mean, people have been posting this. Devin Haney looked like an absolute zombie when he rematched Kambosos, and he was able to rehydrate and looked really good because, you know, he's a naturally gifted athlete, and he
was going against a naturally smaller guy, though.
True. So I'm still Eubank can punch, especially with those uppercuts. So I think
that's true.
Yeah. So I just that. So I guess my rough prediction is Ben, as soon as he gets hit, I think he's going to think, okay, this is more than what I'm used to. And he'll kind of go into a shell a bit, and Ben will probably slow down a bit because of the extra weight and everything. And Eubank's probably going to slow down a bit as well because he's going to be extra tired from the weight cut.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah. I agree for the standpoint because Eubanks, even though he's drained, he's used to being the bigger man, right? Whereas I don't know where Conor Benn gas tank is finna be at. You see what I'm saying? And we know he like to wing a lot of shots, and he's very, very active. I feel like the only thing that's in play for Conor Benn in this entire fight is the size of the ring. Now, the size of the ring is small as shit. So that's going to play in Conor Benn's favor. But I don't, if I feel like if Eubank can weather the storm, I think Conor Benn tires out and he could possibly get him. That's my analysis, but it's still 50-50 just because of that. But like, it's tough, man. It's tough. But I know the one person out of all of this, Eddie needs him to win. Eddie needs in the.
And I was going to
Yes.
say, brother, I have a feeling that Eddie's probably not going to. I don't think Eddie's going to rush him towards the title, because right now he promotes Boots, and there's a part of me, because I brought this up on other people's shows. Eddie's very good at promoting big fights in the UK, and in the US when he's got the money, he's done some good fights, but he's never built a star up from the bottom. Like Demetrius Andrade was never a star. Danny Jacobs, he had one good run with him, but notice how quickly Danny Jacobs fell off the map after the Canelo loss.
Yeah.
So, and Eddie Hearn did a good job. Yeah.
I feel like Eddie good, but Eddie got okay. This is the difference between a UK promoter and a US promoter. A US promoter is primarily gonna tell you this is the roadmap we got for you, and this is what you're gonna do, right? Where Eddie is like, he let you have some say so, and it's like, if you don't want to do it, he like, all right, it's your ass then. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on you. You know what I mean? And I think that's it.
From Eddie, bro, with that 5.
What'd you say, Nine?
We learned all we can learn with Eddie from that 5v5.
Yeah, like he let you
That's
like
what
you burn your own road. You burn your own
bro.
road. You saw what he said about what's my kid? He said, man, he should have beat him. But hey, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? We gave you somebody you could beat. You said you was this guy, but you ain't that guy, god damn it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference between the American promoters and Eddie. Eddie would be like, I'm telling you, don't fuck with him. No, give me that fight. Okay, give him the fucking fight. He'll give it to you.
Everything in Eddie's fiber, his being is like of a used car salesman. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, PBC told Tim to sit down, and he wouldn't listen either. So
he wouldn't listen either, right?
Hold on,
so
wait,
like,
is that Mark? Yeah. Is that Mark?
Yeah, that's Mark.
Yeah, salute, Nine.
Watch your back, brother. Watch your back.
Yeah, I'm watching.
But no, I think that's the difference. But I agree with you. Eddie is so hungry to get an American star. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But the thing is here, like you said, he has Boots, right? I don't think Boots gets undisputed at 147, bro. Something tells me he's gonna move up eventually, and that's gonna be the play for. That's gonna be the play for Conor Benn. Yeah, that's gonna be the play for Conor Benn. Conor Benn's not gonna fight Boots, but that's when he's gonna try to line him up to fight somebody else to get a belt. So when Boots let his shit go, you get what I'm saying? He's not gonna.
Who the hell is gonna get Barrios, bro? That's the question.
Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, no, they
that's what I heard too. Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Are you
but
serious?
they can't get away with they can't get away with Manny Pacquiao. I know they're talking about it, but they can't get away with that fight. Like that'll just be I mean
he'd have to be nearly 50 now, wouldn't he?
Man, that shit crazy, bro.
Realistically,
that's crazy, bro.
Realistically, Manny Pacquiao's 60 because of the amount of wars he's had. Conor.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that like Eddie's everything you need to see about Eddie is who does he have closest to him? Like who does the most talking besides him? It's Frank Smith, a pencil pushing bureaucrat who probably doesn't even know the different stances of fighting. Like he's such a brainless twat. And I got nothing against Frank Smith, but and Eddie, what I used to like about him was that he doesn't have a history of dragging his fighters with lawsuits like Bob Arum and Frank Warren's a piece of work, but Warren did build up guys like Ricky Haddon, like Prince Nassim, like Joe Calzaghe. Whereas
he got his history too, right?
I'm gonna do a video on this. Eddie literally became popular because he snaked Carl Froch from Mick Hennessy back in the day, like, and plus he got away, and plus he was given a future star in Anthony Joshua, and as soon as Anthony, has anyone noticed that with Anthony Joshua pretty much retired, Eddie's got no stars, so and that's because his other big names like Tony Bellew, who ducked every champion in his division, and Cal Brook, similar thing. Cal Brook never unified. These guys, like Eddie's got so many flaws, and It's
only time, bro,
him.
you can really get Eddie to tell the truth is you got to get him really, really pissed.
You got right there. You go. When you get him pissed off, right? Exactly. That's when you gonna start talking this shit, and then he backtrack. Then he tried. Well, you right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Gotta
true.
get him
But I
mad.
also think part of his flaws. One is you want to know Eddie big flaw is he's not old like the other bunch. So like talking shit to Eddie, and he'll get you real fucked over. You know what I'm saying? Like Eddie, like okay, y'all got me fucked up. Yeah, I'm not old. I'm not these old geezers. I'm not this because that's always been his biggest thing. Like he's not Bob. He's not Frank. He's not this. And I'm young. He's this and that third. And all the older guys always talk down on him. That's been his. I think that's his biggest Achilles heel. That he's young and he'll get you fucked over. Like I remember, I forgot who the fuck Conor Benn wanted to fight at the time, and they were live, and he was like, I think it was Amir Khan, and he was like, yeah, you got his number, Eddie, don't you? Call him right now. And Eddie was looking at him like, if you don't shut the fuck up. But he was like, basically, and after that, man, I'm telling you, Conor Benn shit just went straight down. And that was after he beat who was that? Chris Algieri. When he beat Chris Algieri, he was talking bad to Eddie. And Eddie was looking at him, and you could see the Eddie face like, I'm not finna snap back because I'm on camera, but man. And it just seemed like after that, it was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, Conor Benn's fucked. He fucked. You can't do that to him. He young like you. Like, fuck
Eddie
you.
is the classic snake oil salesman. He's the type of guy that I feel like if you walked out the room and your wife was in the room, he's taking his shot. You know what I mean? That just seems like Eddie, he just seems like that type of guy, bro. You know what I mean? And I love it. That's
Man,
well,
Eddie.
Go ahead.
No, I just think Eddie, I agree with Nine say that's part of being a promoter, but you get on his bad side, I think he'll shit all on you, bro. He'll shit all on you.
Eddie,
Before I let you jump in though, Azir Vasquez II, he said, who I got, I ain't gonna stunt. The one that's gonna benefit from this fight more is Conor Benn. So I hope Conor Benn win and we can get him in there with like a Brian Norman Jr. or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Champion, what's up? I see you. Darb Tram, salute to you from Facebook. He said, what time the fight gonna start? Tomorrow it starts the entire card. See, one thing about UK cards they get us over here. They say 11 a.m. that's Central Time, but that's not when the main card starts. And they never tell us when the main card starts because they're gonna make us watch all of it, which I'm here for it though. But so 11 a.m. Central Time, you gotta make that your time. Kieran T 2010 from the UK. I think Eubank will do it. Salute to you, man. Salute to you for hitting that subscribe button, man. I appreciate you. All right, my bad, y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Well,
at the end of the day, man, I don't really have a pick for this fight. Seeing that weigh in, it's kind of got me befuddled. I just want to watch the fight. I feel like that, and this is one of the prime examples of what I say. You don't have to pick every fight. You can just be a fan, sit back, grab some popcorn, a cold beer, whatever the fuck
Fight
you
night.
like,
Fight
and
sports.
watch the fight and enjoy yourself.
Fight sport. He's being modest, bro. He's a retired pro fighter. He be talking his shit, and he trying to be, just watch the fights and all this shit. Nine. Seeing Conor Benn, I'm just asking this question. Seeing Conor Benn, do it look like he forced a lot of weight on, or does it look like he just had to put a little bit of weight on top of his walk around weight?
Went to a training camp, and whatever weight he weighed, that's what he got on the scale with, because he's a welterweight. Okay. He probably started out. Conor Benn probably started out about like 170, 165, and he just let the natural process of the training camp get him down. He probably ate good, dieted, but he didn't have to like sweat weight. A guy don't come in 4 pounds under the limit and had a hard time, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I think Conor Benn, because he hasn't stressed himself.
I just think he just did the natural thing. He just went, worked out, dieted. He didn't have to sit in a damn bathtub and soak and sweat himself and
salt baths and shit. Right.
All that shit. Nah, he didn't have to do none of that.
Okay.
So yeah, bro.
I bet he wasn't wearing one of them sauna suits like I seen Eubank take off. That was shocking. That was.
So he's pretty comfortable. And the crazy thing is, bro, if I was Eubank, see, we've talked about this, not this live, but the live before last when we was talking about the Schofields.
Right.
What's up with all this victim shit? Like, we're supposed to feel sorry for you, bro, because you didn't make weight. You're a victim. We want to see your struggle of making weight so you can fight a motherfucking welterweight. What the fuck is up with that shit, bro? You're not a victim. You're getting paid. You didn't make weight. Fuck it. It is what it is. Take your fine and potentially even take your loss.
He came late. That's the thing. I feel like he could have shaved his beard off and got that 0.5 off. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly. He didn't want it. We seen Sean Porter
clip his braids.
Sean Porter a few years ago cut his hair off.
Yeah, he clipped his back of his braids off to make that point. Right. I forgot about that. You're right.
So yeah,
bro, I remember.
It ain't that serious. He trying to get a payday, bro. That's all.
Well, with the Schofields, it was. I mean, they were about to go David Icke and say the aliens are what prevented us from making weight. the aliens were about to abduct us.
That's about the only one he didn't use.
Or it would have been the Alex Jones. The deep state's out to get us. The deep state's
right. Get him.
I remember when I was 14. I was doing like some semi international competition. I was, as a kid, you don't have to do any weigh-ins. You just show up and compete. But one of the adults went out, sweated, couldn't make weight, and he had this massive mohawk, and they just shaved the whole thing off, and he came in like, like half a pound underneath. Like, I don't think Conor Benn has put on much size at all. I think he's enjoying not cutting weight because, I mean, I thought he was going to put on a lot of weight, but he seems to have done what Jamal Charlo did against Canelo, which is, he's a big guy and maybe he's had a few more steaks, but it's probably not, he's probably not doing what Roy Jones did, which is, do a lot of weightlifting and then slow himself down. So he might actually be okay, but I still, and by the way, I'm going to do a video breaking this down because a lot of people hound me about it, but I called Callum Smith pretty much a Euro level fighter before his fight against Boazzi, and he made me look like an idiot.
I like Callum though, man.
No, Callum's great. Callum showed true heart against Boazzi. Yeah. So maybe I'll be wrong again, but I just think the same when I see Ben. I mean, there's no real. He doesn't really do anything that impressive. He looks impressive as an athlete, but his actual craft is just so basic. So I don't think.
And that's the point I was trying to make too, bro. Not to cut you off. I don't have
brother.
Nobody really grabs it for me. I think that they're fighting for the world championship of themselves. You know what I mean? Their family name. Ben versus Eubank. That's all the fuck they fighting for. But you know what? Yeah. That may make for an exciting fight. Who knows?
Yeah, but that's why I was saying they both need, well, like I say, Eubank longer than two, but kind of Ben definitely needs that fight to separate him from his father's name. You get what I'm saying? Like, we share the same name, but we are not the same person. I need that defining fight. Where other fighters, we like, he ain't got the defining fight. Hell, he need a fight to separate himself from his dad and that defining fight to say, I'm here. I'm the guy. You know what I'm saying?
And you notice something slick? You notice something, bro? They're polar opposites, bro. Man, like, think about it. One has his dad in his corner, sitting there on the podium with him. The other one ain't talked to his dad in like shit. What do he say? Like 2 or 3 years?
2 years. Shit? Yeah, bro. And the thing, and I think is crazy because this goes all the way back to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson originally brought it up. That's how I see this. Like, he said, what's the worst thing we did to our kids? It was like we gave them everything they wanted. And if we wasn't here, they wouldn't be able to fucking survive.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Because I didn't have that, and I had to fight my way out the gutter to get it to here. So, like I said, I think Eubank Sr. see that. Like, you're a good fighter, but you're not what your mouth is saying, son. I'm sorry, but That's not it. And I'm not going to stand by. He called this during the first fight. He said, my son is not making weight. He said that. He said that shit is dangerous.
Yeah.
He's not finna make this shit. He's not finna fucking make weight.
Probably knew
y'all trying to make him.
Went over his mama house and ate all that goddamn sweet potato pie. You know?
Yeah, bro. Like he was saying that shit. Like y'all trying to kill my son, make him lose all that fucking weight. That shit fucking dangerous. He said that shit. And look, he didn't make fucking weight, bro. Like I said, they say mother knows best. In this instance, maybe father knows best. He know his son. He ain't just crazy. He know his son. Like, yo, I'm telling you, and I'm not going to be there for the bullshit.
His face and put a goddamn goatee on his face. Took that 0.5 right the fuck off.
And then, like, you know, sometimes people have to read between the lines. I know, shout out to Eubank Jr. because I love his podcast, bro. That should be having me dying. But like, you know, sometimes a person be trying to tell you something without telling you direct. And he was like, he said something real specific. They called him outside. He said, where'd you get that from? Who taught you how to do that or even act like that? To slap somebody with an egg. Where in the world did you come up with that at? When I heard that,
in a park or something, wasn't
you know,
it?
yeah, you know what I took from that? You know what I took from that? Son, you didn't grow up the way I grew up. You're not no gangster. You're not any of that shit you trying to portray. Why are you doing things? You understand what I'm saying? Like you putting on this show, and I know that's not you, bro.
Well,
just be you.
I think I don't know. I think his dad is being a little hypocritical. I mean, his boxing hero was Mike Tyson. I mean, how many stunts did Tyson pull in his career? So, plus, I think the egg slap thing was fine. I mean, I loved it personally because
I like the egg slap. It added to the fight because it needed it. For one, it needed it.
Bit of theater.
But in correlation to, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, fam.
No, well, I was just saying, I don't think like Eubank Sr. is saying, oh, look, why'd you do that? That was like you said, he was basically saying that's a street move and you ain't from the streets. But to me, it was a hilarious stunt because Conor Benn's such a brat. Like I felt he deserved it. I think it really matters just how much Conor Benn can handle being hit, because again, you don't really know what a fighter is until they actually have to prove it's a fight. Like Teddy Atlas says,
true.
A fighter, it ain't really a fight until there's something to prove. And Conor Benn's just had, I mean, what's Conor Benn's legacy at the moment? You know, Chris Algieri, who I love, by the way, but he was way past his best. And
right.
Chris Van Heerden. So, yeah, I just don't think, you know, no matter how drained Eubank is.
That was actually a point I was going to make too, bro. I feel like, you know, like a magnet. You got a negative and you got a positive. Opposites attract, you know, and maybe the fact that, you know, he's estranged from his dad, Eubank is, and Conor is right there with his dad. That's the opposite. So we may see fireworks. With that being said, I have a question for the panel. If you had to go round by round, how you think the fight is going to go? Just throwing shit out there. What would you say? How would the fight go?
Oh, should I go first or?
Yeah, go ahead. It don't matter.
Well, okay. I think round by round, I think Ben is going to have to. I think the early rounds are going to be good for Eubank because, you know, rehydration clauses, they affect fighters later on. So that's when, you know, as long as Conor Benn hasn't put on too much weight, I think he'll still have, you know, decent stamina in the later rounds, and therefore Eubank, depending how tired he is, he may have to hold on. But I still think early rounds. Okay, the reason I'm picking Eubank is Ben's not an excellent long range boxer. Like, he doesn't have any spectacular jab and, you know, long range skills. And Eubank is still very dangerous when he gets up close. Like, I mean, if you see the rematch with Liam Smith, those body shots from the second round were hurting him. And
right.
Again, Ben's fighting several weight divisions up his normal weight class. So once he feels those body shots, I think he's going to I mean, we also don't know what kind of fighting heart he has. So I think he's at least at the bare minimum going to slow down, and therefore, if he has quit in him, then I wouldn't be surprised if he does quit. If he's able to hold on, then Eubank may have to weather a late storm where Ben just, sort of young mans him. But I think those body shots will hurt him, and I don't see anything impressive enough in Conor Benn's skills at long range. So I think, I think size will matter in the end.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about the ring. That long range shit. Man, I'm a fan of the small ring. I always said that there need to be two size rings. You need a championship ring and you need just a regular ring. Like this fight is gonna be. I think this fight is gonna be nice until it's not. Tomorrow. But like, 9 fell off. 9, come on back. The internet probably kicked him off. But like, I ain't gonna lie. This week got me very intrigued, and I will say it, and I said it before. This is one expensive omelet. I promise you. From the egg slap to 500,000. This is crazy, bro. Like, and for him to even want to say, okay, fuck it, he can have it. He got to be trying to bring something to the table. Now, I do agree with you. I know Eubank can fight. Like I said, it's just about the trainer he got. Who's training him for this fight?
Himself. It seems. I mean,
I don't know.
What?
I don't.
For real?
Who's his normal trainer?
He had a normal trainer in a long time. That's the thing.
Oh, that's right. He had Bomac.
He keeps jumping trainers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh wow, bro.
Wow. Yeah, I just. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's when he moved away from his dad, I thought, okay, that's good. I mean, I know we know this because we're hardcores, but these sons, to be successful, the best versions of themselves, they usually have to break away from their dads. I mean, Mayweather moved away from his dad for a few years. They were estranged. Even Tim Tszyu, he did his training by himself and didn't have his dad for a while. The younger of the Klitschko brothers, he had to force his older brother to leave him alone. He said, "Look, I'm going to do things my way, and I don't care what you think." So, but then you hear from guys like Adam Booth, who are very good trainers, say, "Look, Eubank doesn't listen." So it's like, okay, you went away from one control freak just to be a control freak yourself. So,
yeah.
And when he went with Bomac, he looked like $1 million.
He did. That was the best I've seen him.
Yeah, and I thought, well, it made sense. Bomac had to go work with Crawford, and but actually, I never actually got to the bottom of that. Did Eubank just not fit into Bomac's schedule, or did Bomac?
Well, for what I got from it, Bomac went to jail, and then like he's not clear if he can go back over there. Right. But it shouldn't have mattered because Chris Eubank was going to Las Vegas and train. So and Eubank was saying that he wanted to train at home. There's nothing like home. All of a sudden, I took that as he didn't want to keep going to Las Vegas to have to train.
And that's concerning. I mean, these. Actually, Anthony, that was actually one of the big problems with Anthony Joshua when he started talking to
Derek James,
Tommy Brooks. Yeah, Derek James, Tommy Brooks, Roy Jones.
Yeah.
There were questions about whether he was going to leave the UK. I'm like, dude, you got more than enough money. Like, get the F out of Britain, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. So, like, when you go with a trainer like Bomac, who doesn't take no nonsense, and you come back from a bad defeat like the first Williams fight, like a lot of people, I thought, oh, this is interesting. But then he goes back to training anonymously. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know who he's with.
That's the question mark. I was like, who's training this guy, bro? Like, what is he doing? I don't know, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm eager to see tomorrow. That's a fact. Man, Fight Sports Talk, man. Hey, you got a channel. Let everybody know, bro. I'm definitely finna subscribe.
I've been waiting to jump into Arksat. What the name of
I'm
his
definitely
channel
finna
is.
subscribe, bro.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, Fight Sport Talk do stuff here, over here in New Zealand. I've for the last 2 months I've been very lazy, but I'm going to get back into it, and I've been going on other people's shows to try and get my name out there. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I'm about to subscribe to you now. Make sure you hit my subscribe button, bro.
That's on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm big on UK boxing too on this channel, so I'm a boxing's worldwide, so wherever it's at, I'm with it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna sub up because he's like a cousin, basically, being a Kiwi.
Yeah, brother. We're I get mistaken for being a new Aussie a lot, and it's like, same thing.
Yeah, when you first come on and started, happy Anzac Day. That's another thing I was trying to get out. But
yeah, brother.
When you first came on, yeah, when you first come on and started talking, I thought, far out, is this blood? Does that sound Kiwi? And I'm waiting for, I don't know, what did you just say? Something like fish or something, you know?
I just subscribed, fam. I just subscribed too.
Thanks, homie. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. You work on this channel anytime, man. That's what I be wanting. Best sports talking minds on boxing. I enjoyed this thoroughly.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, with this fight, I'm thinking, I don't know. I just didn't like the way that Eubanks looked in that way, and he looks like he's hurt himself severely to make the weight.
He looked like a zombie of himself. Like he couldn't even make a smirk.
Yeah, I reckon by rounds. How it's not for a belt, so it's only going to be 10 rounds, yeah?
I think they've made it 12 rounds.
I think it's 12.
Okay. All right. Well, that's even worse. I was going to say, I think Eubank going to run out of puff by about round 8. So
yeah.
If he paces himself, I think he could take Conor Benn because Conor Benn the one that he fought at this weight. So it'd be smart to take him to deep waters, man, and see if he can manage to.
I don't know.
What I'm
he
saying?
Just didn't look good.
That's his gas tank.
I didn't think he looked good yesterday.
Slick, send me his channel, bro.
Yeah, I will. I got you.
I
just subscribed to him.
I just had
thank you, brother.
Words I had to put out too, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Y'all, everybody
brother,
in here, man.
Up, though, and become friends, though, part of the family, because we got a lot of
thanks, brother,
over here, man.
Yeah, all right.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you got to come through more often. Everybody over there on X, we got plenty of people over there on X watching us right now, and Facebook, and everybody. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Fight Sports Talk, man. Real talk. Real talk.
Yeah, thanks,
if you're
man.
a real box fan, you'll do it.
Is it just sport, or has it got an S on the end of sport?
It's
sport.
Just sport.
I can post the link in the chat if you want, man.
Yeah. I got it written down.
We not like that over here, bro. We here to try and build the fans of boxing, bro. Yeah, damn sure. Do that shit.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Hey, you're not a channel that don't know his shit. I love channels that come over and know their shit. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Thank you, man.
And not only that, you give it. It's not just knowing your stuff. You give your own perspective. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. You're not just a fanboy, or you like. I can tell you like the sport. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm just a casual when they put up with me. So.
Hey, where Punch go?
I don't know. He fell off, but Lil Punch probably got a hold of him or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's choking one of them chihuahuas.
I promise you, man.
That don't even sound good, Mark, bro.
Right. But
hey, man, I'm drinking moonshine tonight, bro, and I got a dirty ass mind. Don't say that. You gonna warm me with ammunition? I will send a Chihuahua puppy to his house, bro.
Right. Look at that. 9 is the ultimate troll, bro. Now, what's in shirts, clothes? You don't care how far you live across the world. You go get one.
He keeps telling me to watch me back, and I'm not sure why. Was he going to just fly over here? That's going to cost you.
Did you guys? Speaking of having to watch your back, did you guys see Jamal Charlo spaz out a Tom?
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. That was the next subject. That was an oh my god, bro.
I just gotta say this, and I've been on a lot of American shows who are fans of the Charlos, and I like the Charlos as well. But they're entertaining and all, and I love their passion. But I gotta say, when I saw Jamal Charlo spazzing out, I just thought, can somebody call Danny Jacobs over here? Like,
right?
Just like It's like you're
I was
gonna.
looking before he
I think they're
spazzed
complete
out.
idiots myself.
I gotta ask, like, if you watched it before he spazzed out, didn't he look like he was sad? Like
He
his
looked
face
drunk,
spread drunk or something. Like he was just.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Look,
I was like,
he was
what
always-
is he
Can you
sad
put your
about?
disclaimer up real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
Because I'm gonna give you my take.
Work. Let me get to it. Let me get to it first. I got you. There you go, Nine. Go ahead, let it rip.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Hey, man.
Allegedly.
Yo,
Allegedly, yeah.
he
So
looked
I've been
so
told.
sad and depressed that I was like, what's wrong with him? And then all of a sudden he just spazzed out, started hitting the table. He talked to somebody,
Yeah.
this dude's a bum. And then he got real mad because I was like, he said, you a bum. And then LaMotta said, what? If I'm a bum, you fighting me though. You're fighting. I was dying. I said, damn. He said, you're fighting a bum then. I said,
He's been lost in the wilderness.
After this, we
He's
won't
been
see
lost
for
in the
another-
wilderness for a while.
After this,
Jamal,
we won't see him
he's
for
fucked.
another 2 years. Don't worry, fellas. I'm
Yeah.
surprised though DJ ain't around, man, because Deej, that's his favorite fighter.
Oh my God. You gonna make
Nah, that's Jamel.
Come on.
That's
Both of them.
Jamel.
He loves both of them.
Yeah, he loves them like I fucking do. Fucking, they're fucking idiots.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
can't
have to
stand them.
send him another T-shirt with both of them on this time, man.
Yeah, he finna pop on now. You done said some shit like that. He finna come on here like, man, what the fuck?
He doesn't need much poking, DJ.
Well, the thing about Jamal is, I mean, he's just the guy's got no street cred at all. I mean, let's just bring Caleb Plant back over to slap the punk out of him.
man.
Oh, did he bring that up?
I mean,
did he
only
really
fight.
bring that up?
No, he didn't. I was hoping
Nah.
LaMotta would bring it up, but I guess maybe if Jamal wins and they do the Caleb Plant fight, like, I mean, Plant actually hasn't talked about it much, but I don't know if
Fight
he
night.
was depressed.
Fight night.
I don't know if he
You bring it up. I gotta play it. We would never let that die over here. We'll never let it die.
That's the only
I mean,
fight I'm
somebody-
interested in watching.
What could I
Jamal.
say? Someone had to bring it up, but yeah, I wasn't sure if Jamal was depressed or if he was just drunk, because he sounded before he spazzed. No, seriously, because before he spazzed out, he said, I'm back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm back. Like I'm pretty sure I heard a bit of I've been on them booze sort of thing, and it's like weird. But
like
he was slurring words during that interview.
He was, and it was like he wanted to say what was wrong, but all those things that was in my life aren't there no more, And like he was like slurring, and I don't have to worry about no more. I'm 100%.
I gotta give credit where credit's due. His last fight with Jose Benavidez, you know what Murph Dirty called it?
What?
He called it the cocaine invitational.
I mean, we gotta. I just got to say, I am glad because I honestly forgot how long the Charlos have been away from fighting. Like, I am so happy they're back because they're giving us so much. Like the Charlos, okay, they're weird. They're weird guys sometimes, but they're passionate and they bring good fights. But they give us so much content. Like it's so it's so funny.
I'll give them that much. I like to watch them fight. I just don't like their mouths, the way they talk. It fucking annoys me. I can't stand them. But they're fighting. I like to watch them fight. Nah, see, I don't like the trash shit. You know what I mean?
If you're good trash talkers, personally, I love it because Jamel will. I'm disappointed that he sold out to that he fought the way he did against Canelo, but still, the guy when he he lost in a terrible fight against Tony Harrison and was crying in the press conference, I thought that was the end of him. I thought he was a spoiled guy who was just gonna go away into non-existence. But he showed heart, man. He came back and Castano boxed his head off in that first fight, but he came back and knocked him out. So I'm a big fan of Charlo. Jamal, I mean, Jamal's disappointing because he turned down he ducked every champion since he became one. But he's still giving us some good fights. So I got respect for the Charlos, but Jamal is just such a clown that it's funny.
You want to
Man,
know what's
good
so
fighters.
ironic?
To me,
They're
they
good
try
fighters.
too hard.
I had high hopes for them, but they're good fighters.
They try too hard to come across as hood gangsters. And from what I've read and heard,
Yeah,
that
right.
they grew
Right,
up in a
right.
stable family in the suburbs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just be who you are.
They
You're just fucking trying to be a
exactly
gangster.
is
Fuck me.
their persona is overloading what they do in the ring, because like what Fight Sports just said, my dude came back, won rematches. Why you didn't do that the first fucking fight? Like, you know what I mean? Them the things that get me, bro. Like, if you really that guy, that it shouldn't have been no rematch. You should have just dominated him. Now it's not taking nothing back, taking up from this guy from coming back and winning. But in the words of Holyfield's mother, why the fuck you gotta get your ass beat to fucking beat somebody? Beat him first.
You want to know what's ironic about the Charlo brothers? And I know it'll never happen, but if you think about it, Mal Charlo is Mel Charlo's best possible opponent, and vice versa. Think about it.
Ooh.
And yeah, according to their mama, they always been.
It'll never happen, but
Yeah,
that's
it'll
the
never
best
happen.
possible opponent. Like if you think about drawing up money, somebody who's talking shit on the other side. I mean, just purely for the antics and the sport of it. Fuck you. You're not my real brother. They look just alike and shit. You know, you was mom's favorite. Well, you was dad's favorite. You know, whatever.
That's where it is, right there. There it is.
Yeah.
That's
I
probably
mean, if they had
we could get.
to me, if they were to fight the older by minutes, but the older one, Jamal, he's too mentally fragile to me. If it was halfway through the fight, and his minutes younger brother was obviously having the best of him, that dude would probably start crying in the corner and walk out.
Yeah.
He's mentally fragile, man.
Yeah.
Oliver McCall back in the 90s or whatever.
Ooh,
But you know what's so crazy though?
That was bad.
Mom was working with Roy Jones for a little bit last year for a great return, and we didn't see shit of it. Like, what the fuck was that? You remember that?
Hell yeah, he was working with him. And I'm out on a retreat, and I like it out here because it's so secluded. I could think. And blah, 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 blah. And then the shit just, next thing you see him, he on a boat in fucking Cancun with a cup, with liquor in his hand. He had a cup, whatever that blue shit we call a blue motherfucker. I know what he had in his hand. He had a blue motherfucker in his hand. And then he said, yeah, I'm on a boat. Y'all talk. Oh, and then he put the cup down. Y'all don't understand what's going on. I'm gonna be back in the ring. I said, yeah. You said, fuck Roy. You went back, started getting drunk. That shit was.
That was just terrible. I mean, I don't know what to make of Jamal. Like, it's I mean, I just remember when Mike Tyson had him on his show, and he was saying, and he was bringing up David Benavidez, and you saw Jamal's eyes go all nervous. He was like, "Oh, this is Mike." He's like, "Nah, he ain't no Mexican monster." And Tyson was like, "Call him out, then. Call him out. Insult his mother, insult his wife, insult his kids." And Jamal just said, "Oh man, this is." He said, "Call him a pussy." He said, "Jamal Charlo, the can man. Anyone can get it." And Mike was like, "Say the name." And he's like,
he was like,
"Anyone can
fuck
get
that
it.
shit.
Say the name." He was just such a. I just don't.
He was
man,
scared. He was scared to say shit. Mike was like,
to be honest, he said you need to stop bullshitting and be serious. You're not.
That's what he told him. You need to stop bullshit and be serious.
Like, and yeah, that's unfortunately, that's what Jamal's, for me at least, that's what Jamal's going to be remembered as. Like, because he turned down an offer to fight Andrade, and he had another drunk spasm about it. He said, "Oh, and Demetrius ain't anything, like call Al Heyman." And then Eddie calls Al Heyman. He says, "Look, I'm my own boss. Call me." But then it's like, "Oh, call Al Heyman." Eddie Hearn calls him up on Instagram, and he says, Kitten's Only Promotions, and Jamal just doesn't reply or anything
at all.
He doesn't fight Andrade. Then Canelo vacated his belt because he moved up, and then Jamal's on a beach somewhere saying, "Where you at, Cinnamon?" And then he didn't fight Danny. And then the Danny Jacobs shit. I mean, that was like the most watched video
That's your
ever.
name, right, brother? Fight Sports.
Yeah, brother.
Yep.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
Is it something else you would like us to call you by, or just Fight Sports is good?
whatever's easiest, man. I mean, some just call me Fight or whatever. You can call me. My middle name is Jay if you want to call me that.
All right.
There we go. We got Jay. There we go.
I'll just call you Fight. Well, guess what?
Yeah,
though?
bro.
He's a Kiwi. He's a Kiwi. We're going to call him Fush. Fush and chops.
What you got, man? Go ahead.
Fuck! I lost my train of thought because I'm drinking tonight. But, but you know,
sorry, Nine.
I think this. I remember now. I think that and I'm really trying to think, but I think that Mal Trollo may be the worst, longest running middleweight champion in history.
Ooh, damn.
The worst, longest running middleweight champion in history. Possibly worst, longest running champion in history.
Damn.
Well,
Let's be honest. If he had fought Benavidez would have destroyed him.
Everybody would have destroyed him. I didn't never think he was all that good.
And that's crazy. Jamal was supposed to be that guy. Ended up being the brother.
Fight, he pulled a guy up from 140. Jose Benavidez started at 140, bro.
Yeah, he was 140.
And he wasn't even that good as a 140.
And he only had one leg.
What's your name, bro? I can't see.
913.
913. That's his name. 913.
Yeah, 913. Yeah, thanks, man.
Call me 9.
Yeah, 9. I honestly hadn't thought about that, but in terms of a champion not fighting other champions who called him out, and in Danny Jacobs' case, called him out face to face, he is probably one of the worst champions, and that's just so disappointing because Jamal. I remember we'll remember when the fans were accusing both the Charlo brothers of being American hype trains. Jamal went out to prove what's up. Like he was about that life. He went and fought every champion and beat them all. But yeah, Maul was just
too, bro. He said, "I'm the one Charlo brother who liked to fight. I'm the Charlo brother who liked to fight."
I remember when I remember when.
Right.
Oh, sorry, man. I was just going to say, I remember when Mel called out his brother and said, "Why did you turn down the Canelo fight?" It was like, it was like, damn.
Jamal had the mouthpiece. He seemed the more serious one. That's why everybody was on his trail, because everybody thought he was going to be the dominant one. You know what I'm saying? Ended up being the other brother, though.
When Mel had a lackluster performance, though, they'd be like, "Well, Big Charlo, though." You know what I mean? Big Charlo knocked out Julian Williams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all that shit. But no.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
sorry, bro.
No, go ahead, bro.
I was just going to say, I remember when they were light middleweights and Mole, he beat Austin Trout first, and then Mel was a little bit less decisive. And yeah, I thought Mole was going to be the dominant one. But I remember when Jamal was actually Gennady Golovkin's mandatory, and the fight didn't happen because they pushed for the Canelo fight. And I've got mixed feelings on Golovkin's career, but Jamal was actually very humble. He said, "I would like to fight him, but I understand he's got his own thing going, and if we do fight, great." I was like, "Oh, this man's very humble." But then he kept being humble, and we just talked about the Mike Tyson thing. Call him a pussy, insult him, insult his mother, and he didn't even call him, he didn't call him anything. He was just scared to say the name. I do wonder if Jamal maybe he would have lost if he did step up. Maybe he was weak in the head a bit. I don't know.
But Jamal has misdirected anger, bro. All the shit that he's saying to this guy that he's supposed to be fighting now, he should have been saying that shit to Golovkin, Canelo, all these other guys. I smell dick. I'm sorry, bro. Sorry.
He should have said it to David Benavidez.
In New Zealand, have you ever watched that old Ice Cube?
He should have said to Benavidez.
Friday?
Right.
Have you seen the old Ice Cube movie Friday?
A long time ago, but yes. Ice Cube's one of my favorite rappers, so yeah.
Okay, check this out. You remember in the movie Friday and shit, it was a thing where D-Boy pulled up and Smokey was like, "Yeah, man, he don't do that shit. D-Boy don't be doing that shit with them niggas around the corner." Well, that's what Mal Charlo is. He preys on the weak. He had all the shit in the world to talk when he was fighting Jose Benavidez. had all the shit in the world. Now he's fighting this guy. All the shit in the world to talk. But then if you put like an A+ champion around him, he not talking that shit to Laura.
And Laura knocking shit out right now.
He not talking that shit to anybody at 160. He talking all that shit to the lower dudes. And when you see him get in there, he not even talking that shit to Plant. You're fighting on this man's undercard, bro.
Right,
and
bro.
He's slapping the fuck out of you. You have, bro.
That's why I watched it. I just knew he was gonna go in on Plant.
Pride, bro. You have no pride. You really like less than, bro. Because you, bruh, if a dude slapped the shit out of you with an open hand, open hand, you have a right to shoot this fuck. God damn.
Bro, when that shit happened,
I mean, nobody.
This is how I felt when that shit happened. When that shit happened,
I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death. I'm frightened and I don't know what to do. I'm confused and I want to go home.
That's how I felt. When he slapped shit out of him, that's how his face looked. I said, damn.
You remember back in the old Victorian type days and shit, motherfucker take out that glove and shit and just slap the shit out of a motherfucker.
On some Bugs Bunny shit. Just
they had to fight. Them motherfuckers take 10 paces, turn around and shoot each other.
Yeah, right. Just come with one of them. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Man, that you got me on that one. I was like,
I did? Oh, okay. Yeah. That's my twin.
Yeah, that was I don't know, man. Has that ever happened before? Has a fighter ever been slapped so blatantly and backed off like that?
Yeah.
No. I watched A9.
Fucking Ernie Terrell, that What's My Name fight. You gonna announce my name right here or on your back, and he beat the shit out of him, like type shit.
Yeah, but it was never I can slap you in the open and it's not a fight and don't nobody tussle type shit. You know what I'm saying? I watched. Who was that jumped off the fucking top of the car and drop kicked the other fight? Who was that?
Larry Holmes. That was Trevor Burbank,
and that was outside the fight. Like fuck the fight. Like I ain't never seen somebody get slapped. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if it was a regular dude, right, that slapped Jermell Charlo, I would have been like, okay, I get it. Because dude gonna sue. You know, this is two fighters. The other fighter is not gonna sue you, dude. You know what I'm saying? This is two fighters. The fighter took a chance fucking his career of slapping the shit out of you. You should have knocked the shit out of him. And he didn't do anything, bro. He didn't do anything.
All bark and no bite. That's what that is.
That shit. That's why I've been saying, bro, they persona is outweighing what they do in the ring. It's outweighing who they are.
Al Heyman and the PBC didn't do
couple of mummies boys trying to be gangsters. That's what that is.
Because that slap happened, bro. That slap happened on the eve of Crawford Spence, one of the biggest fights in modern day.
Yeah,
they left a lot of fucking meat on the bone.
And then the brothers' girls got into it in the car park outside.
Yeah,
Joe did.
That was hilarious.
That shit was wild. That was between brother wives.
Yeah,
that was his brother's wife. That was his brother's wife beating up his wife.
Someone's girlfriend. Yeah, one of them's girlfriend and their wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
wow.
Highly entertaining.
You guys just reminded me of I did multiple videos on this after Alexander Usyk beat Tyson Fury. That he didn't just do it in the ring. He he turned Tyson Fury into a little kitten before the fight. Like Tyson Fury was dead scared before. Both fights
because he couldn't get to him.
Yeah,
the part Tyson Fury game is mental.
Exactly.
Talking shit about you, getting in your head. That's how he beat Deontay. Deontay couldn't talk shit with Tyson Fury. But when he came to Usyk, he couldn't get Usyk head.
And he knew he's like this guy's a different. Even though he's much smaller than me, this guy's different than Klitschko. And
I have this thing where it's a difference between a guy who loves his job and a guy who goes to the job to make money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
and Usyk loves his job. bro.
But you know what I
He
always
loves
say,
his job.
fellas?
There's nothing you can do to him. You say
But
to him.
there's an
He just
there's an
loves what he
advantage.
does.
There's an
Could I-
advantage in not speaking fluent English too. So he probably didn't understand half the shit that Fury
Right,
was
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, that is true too, though.
I knew
That
it was a
is
But
true.
problem
also,
when Tyson Fury signed. When Tyson
That's a
Fury
good
signed
point,
that
Mark.
fucking picture, bro, I said, "Oh, he got his number. Ain't no way. I'd have
that
tore
was
that damn shit up."
100%. Like he was more scared for the rematch. But in the first fight, like Tyson Fury had never been in that situation before,
Mm-hmm.
and when he did, he would have flat out bitched out of the fight if Turkey didn't pay him what he wanted. And yeah, the Charlo brothers. I mean, Jamel proved something because he came back from a terrible performance against Tony Harrison, and he went out and started knocking people out. Like Castano should have been undisputed champion in the first fight, but Charlo, he made good adjustments in the rematch. Jamal, he just seems like
he's
a
the
flat
rematch
out
king.
Yeah,
I'm glad somebody
but Jamal,
said that. Thank
yeah, I know what you guys are saying, but
you. No, I agree with you. Said Castano should have won that first fucking fight. Goddamn right.
Yep.
Won that first
Sure,
fucking
I've
fight.
watched that 100
He
times and I
sat
still
on
come
the
up with
rope. That dude sat on the rope. Any other fight, when you fall, if you fall backwards and your ass touch that bottom rope, that's a knockdown.
Not
Like
in PBC.
Yeah.
You can
that
take a
shit
knee and
fucked
go to
me
the
up.
other corner in PBC.
Yeah, PBC,
Not in
fucking
PBC.
PBC
If you had a rough round,
on
the
everything
doctor will
I
come in
love.
to ask you if
He
you all
lost
right.
this shit.
Yeah.
I say no way.
Just like Tim Tszyu and Murtazalia fight, they brought that doctor out after they'd sat in the corner for fucking a minute,
For real.
checking his eyes and bullshit. And then it happened to God. They did it in the Spence Bud fight.
Yep.
Other than my usuals fight sports, you the first person that came over and said that. I swear to God. And that's not taking nothing away from that guy. Yeah. I was like, he was supposed to lose that. There's no way. He sat him on his ass.
Thanks, man. Yeah, because here's the thing. I like Jamal Charlo. Like again, I like.
Me too.
We as fans, we appreciate if fighters can show heart. Like if fighters can, prove something when their back is against the wall, then you're a winner in my books. So I like Jamal Charlo, but yeah, he should have there is a part of his legacy that's a little bit lucky because he should have lost that first fight and maybe there would have been a rematch anyway, but
he came back.
He should have lost.
Right.
Yeah. And
he should have lost.
But he at least proved something more than
You know what I always say though, fellas? Fighters are very, very fragile people. I've been one and I've coached them. And let me give you an example. The great fighters always had an entourage. Now you from the outside looking in, you be like, oh damn, he got hanger owners. But he has to keep them people around him. Yeah, champ. Yep. He's got to keep yes men around him. Because it feeds his ego and he fights better. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're so fragile that when they take losses, they all up in their feelings. Yeah, if somebody out-talks them, they in their feelings. Fighters are so fragile.
They come out the gate.
And in order to be successful, you have to open yourself up for a lot of bullshit that's not necessarily right. We don't live like that. Well, I don't live like that no more. But you got to keep yes men around you. Oh, man, you the best, champ. Oh, yeah. They only saying that to use you, but you got to keep them people around because it feeds your ego. Because if you went in the ring without no confidence, have you ever watched the fight and the first thing coach said, hey, man, throw your motherfucking jab. Don't let him get no confidence.
Right.
Because once he get confidence, he'll fight 10 times better.
10 times better. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, you better shut them down immediately.
Bro.
Yeah.
Fighters are fragile. And a lot of techniques that you use in the ring, boxing is a game of opposites. I can't stress this enough. So when somebody has all these arms and they throwing punches at you and bing, 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 your first instinct is to leave and back up, but you got to walk towards them to smother the punch. But you got to be brave enough to do it. You got to be brave enough to go against your mind and say, yeah, I need to walk in here and smother this punch. When your mind is saying, get the fuck away from there, leave. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
the biggest,
so fragile,
the
man.
biggest damage to Jamel's legacy was that bullshit effort he put in against Canelo. You know, I would have 100
He
times more
definitely
respect
got
for
to
him.
come back. He definitely has to
I
come
would
back.
have 100 times more respect for him if he got knocked out and had a proper go, but he did not.
That was a payday.
Bullshit.
There's I've got mixed feelings on that because on one hand he was stepping up 2 divisions and that is huge, but on the other hand, him not the fact that he didn't even try, like you signed up to step up 2 weight divisions, so the fact that he didn't try I don't think less of him as a fighter because again he showed courage and heart again in his division, but I just wish he didn't take the fight then. And
Exactly.
I think he'll be able to show, unless he's only coming back because he's broke or whatever. Like I think he'll show heart in the.
He has to, what broke or not, he has to come back and erase that. You can't leave on a note like that. That's terrible, bro.
That was
because
a bad look.
I get it.
Bad look.
I get it. You were a fill-in for your brother. It was some last minute shit because he was not supposed to have that fight.
It wasn't.
It was
It wasn't
supposed to
really
be
last
his brother.
minute though.
You know, no, it
It's
really
not like
wasn't.
He stepped in with. No, he didn't step in with 2 weeks' notice or anything.
No, but it's
he had a full
mentally
camp.
wise, right? He had a full camp, but mentally wise, like shit, this fucking Canelo. And you heard it in the goddamn press conference. There was no way his mind should have been on some pleasing Canelo versus versus not giving a fuck about Canelo. He was on his mind was about pleasing Canelo. He was on some, this Canelo, I gotta wear my best watch.
Hey,
this is Canelo, I gotta wear my best clothes.
Man,
like
my phone is about to die, man. So hey, I'm gonna be fucking around in the chat though. But I'm gonna have to put a charge on my phone, man. So I'll holler at you fellas later. All right, man.
Bruce 9.
All right.
I'm gonna see that link now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, I also don't know how much he got paid for that Canelo fight. Like if he's going through similar issues.
Lots.
He got his brother's payday for that motherfucking fight.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I think he'll do fine. Like it's Mole that I won't say I'm worried about him because I just don't really even care because if you've gone this long without doing something that makes me want to care for your career, like why should I give a shit?
Yeah.
Like you were supposed to make us care, like you said, you were supposed to make us care when you were saying, "Oh, I'm about that life," calling people out in their press conferences, insulting their mothers, insulting their dignity. Right. It's like you were supposed to be that guy when Danny Jacobs pulled up on you and said, "Oh, I came at the perfect time," and he's just sitting there in like, "Well, see you later. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs."
Right. No, exactly, bro. And I had high hopes for them from their first pay-per-view, and they had a pay-per-view since.
Yeah, man.
Like, it just sucks. They had the perfect scheme, 2 twins, 2 champions, pay-per-views. Like, you couldn't do no better than that. And now I don't understand. It just I feel like you gave them, I feel like PBC put the cart before the horse with them. Like you gave them all the money up front, you know what I'm saying? And they just don't want to do shit. Like that's what they was in there for. Fuck it. It was money. There's no way in hell, like I get the mental issues and things like that or whatever, but you still got a job. You got to maintain your lifestyle. But if I give you enough money where you could fucking sit the fuck off to the side, why the fuck I need to fight? You know what I mean? Because in reality, people get content. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Yeah. And this is a sport. And if I'm a promoter, this is a business. So if I sign you to so many fights and I got to sit here and drag you a fuck along because I didn't gave you too much fucking money, it is what it is. And for Jamel definitely should have been came back. Fuck that recess shit. He should have been came back.
Yeah,
it was
been way too long. It's 3 years since he fought Castano.
Yeah. I mean, with Jamal, again, this is in the past, so it's like I'm not even really passionate about it, but he was supposed to fight Sulecki, another terrible fight. Right. Then he gets injured a week before the fight, probably because of bad ticket sales. And so Leonard Ellaby probably goes to him and say, "Hey, you got to fake an injury. Here's an injury report."
Yep.
And then that's when
Don't
Thanks,
get me
man.
started
Thanks,
on this fake injury shit.
Yep, I like this guy. We talk about that. The fake
Hey,
injury report.
there's a meme. And this was back when I was like in my teens, and there was a meme of Dana White holding this big bundle of cash and saying, "Hey, so and so, you got an injury."
Right.
But
For real.
but the thing that always got me about Jamal is he got injured, or they say he got injured, and that's when he was out for like 3 years. So like again, it's in the past, like I almost don't even really care, but it's like, what was a bigger problem for him, the injuries or his girlfriend or depression, or a combination of all three? It's like, and then he just comes back acting like a spastic. He's such a weird guy to follow. Like,
you can't follow him. He's all over the damn place. You don't know what the fuck you'll get out of him. Like Thomas told him during the little Zoom call. He said, just show up to the fight.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. I like that. Lamana said, he was like, just show up. Just show up. Meanwhile, Jamal's saying,
just show up to the fight, bro.
And then
you know
he
what I'm saying?
You're emotional. And he says, I'm going to show you how emotional I am. I'm like, do you not realize you're acting like an entitled woman, like right now? Like,
he was, bro. He was like, that shit don't fuck with me. Like, hey, you too emotional, bro. And that was his way out. Like, calm down. You know what I mean? Like, calm down, bro. Like, I ain't even said no. I'm not even trying to talk shit to you, but bro, what did you want? You a bum. And then that got me when he said, I'm a bum. You're fighting me. What is I was like, damn. Great comeback. Like, what the fuck?
I didn't have a channel back. I was just gonna say I didn't have a channel back then, but when Adrian Broner pulled out of a fight on short notice because of mental health issues, and his fans were, they're basically singing a sob story for him. And meanwhile, the opponent got like no compensation or whatever. I couldn't help but think, back when, again, I was a teenager at this time, I thought we should have seen this coming. Like, this was definitely going to happen with Broner. He was going to be, in fact, if you were going to think of a fighter who would have mental health issues to where he couldn't make it to a fight, he'd probably be the first guy that come to your mind. And we've kind of seen that with Jamal. So, but again, if he comes back and here's the thing, what you said earlier, bro, about you fighters wanting to fight. If he wants to fight, I'm all for it.
Right. I feel like boxers sometimes is like they catch the same syndrome that like child actors get. They get to stardom way too ahead of time. See, I've been watching boxing long enough since I can breathe, and I ain't gonna say my age or nothing like that, but a lot of these boxers get the fame at 18, 19 wins and stuff like that. When I came up, to be honest, I wasn't heard of a Charlo until he had about 28 fights, 28 wins. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the age we in now, where everything what I would have considered fast track back then would have been like, damn, I'm hearing about this cat. He had 20 fights. Now fast track is like at 12 fights. You know what I mean? So the distance between it all is like, I think they're getting that buzz too early. You know what I mean? If that makes sense to y'all. Like they're getting the fame too early, way too early.
Depends.
And they don't know how to deal with it. Like, they're not
who they
mature
are,
enough.
too.
They're not mature. I feel like they're not mature enough to handle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if you got a famous last name like Zoo, all of a sudden the hype comes.
Zoo should have been paced though. Think if we would have got Zoo. Okay, all the losses he had, right? And I'm including those. If those losses had not been put on the pedestal that they were, nobody would have cared nothing about it. They were on a pedestal. It was like, ooh, this Tim Zoo, and they amped it up to the fact where you had to believe that Tim Zoo's gonna win that fight because of who his daddy was. If he took them losses in the long run, he perfected his craft, and he got on a win streak after them losses, and he was dominant, then we'd have been like, this dude is the shit. You get where I'm coming from? Like, they so quick to push these kids out there, man. It's bananas to me. It's bananas.
Because the name, because it's because of the last. I still believe it's because of his last name. He got pushed quick because they could draw a crowd, especially in Australia.
Yeah.
Just off the name, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you just reminded me of something like one of the first major interviews I listened to was with Sugar Ray Leonard, and he was asked, what's wrong with boxing. This was like in the middle of the Mayweather Pacquiao era, and he said something very interesting. He said they, meaning the analysts who cover the sport, are too quick to try and call somebody great when they haven't proven it. And that really made me think of, I grew up in where I looked up to analysts like Jim Lampley, Larry Merchant, Bert Sugar and stuff. And, Larry Merchant particularly, not a very nice man, but, and Bert Sugar was often very harsh as well. But I actually, you just made me think, man, one of the reasons why these guys were harsh is because I remember they always said, look, we don't know if this fight is real or if he's a fraud. And they use the word fraud a lot. And then what you just said, it just made me think maybe it's better if we not call people frauds for no reason, but if we ask the question, look, is this guy legit or is he a bum? Because
that's right.
That, the greatest comparison in history is always some fighters get the Ray Leonard treatment and some fighters have to go through like 2 or 3 careers like Marvin Hagler before they're called marvelous. Hagler wasn't even called marvelous until he walked through Tommy Hearns' right hand.
Right.
So it's but the
Ray Leonard treatment come from when a gold medal meant something.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing I try to tell these cats today. And I oh my God, you like plucked at a heartstring with that one. When Ray Leonard won that gold medal, right? A gold medal meant like you came home, got the sponsorship deals, you was gonna be on the Wheaties box. You was gonna I don't know if y'all got Wheaties in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So you gonna be in a Wheaties box. You gonna be on. You know what I mean? We gonna push you, right? And that's because you earned that because you went and fought for your country, right? You went and boxed for your country. You came back with a gold medal. So in essence, you kind of deserved that treatment. A person like Marvin Hagler got out the mud, and it took a congressman to push him to get him where he was, and he was a great, and they were scared of him. And still to this day, there's a lot of Marvin Haglers that don't get that fucking push because they gonna upset the apple cart because all the cash cows ain't seen nothing like a Marvin Hagler. Hence, why you got Terrence Crawford. Hence, why you got people like that, because like when you got a guy that truly believes in himself and is constantly proving himself, why the fuck would I put you in the ring with a guy like that that's gonna stop my money as a promoter? You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like,
and some. Sorry, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like, so when it comes to stuff like that, like that's the difference. Like, but now, fast forward to today, you got the Keyshawn Davises and all them. They're champions, but people are like, he's a champion. Okay, but I haven't seen him fought nobody that made him deserve to even be a champion.
It's like we've gone to the extremes. We went from the days where some fighters ended up being like Aaron Pryor, who has 2 great wins on who is an all-time great. And he's only got 2 great names on his career because on his resume. And Marvin Hagler, he had to go through the gauntlet of gauntlets just to get a title, just to get a freaking title shot.
Right.
Whereas now it's kind of the opposite. It's easy, for lack of better words, it's easy to become known. And I mean, that's a tricky one. And that's one of the reasons why certainly, I used to think this was like American prejudice against Brits, this whole British bum thing. But actually, I realize there's a lot to it, because you do get in Britain, it's pretty easy to become a star. And that's why I actually think Conor Benn ain't gonna, I don't know if he's gonna go very far, because he's got the star treatment from such a young age.
I like Britain and their system, Reason being, because those guys are active.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
active, and the
There's pros
fans
to it. Yeah,
and they fight enough for their fan base to be built. Whether you're gonna become a champion or not, the thing about Britain champions, UK, Europe, just Europe, period, Russian, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Scotland, whatever, Ireland, they're active. And the thing is, they could build a fan base off that, whether they're going to become champion or not. The main premise, they're active. American boxers are not fucking active, bro. They're not active at all, and it pisses me the fuck off. So when
especially the PBC ones,
exactly. So when they call UK people bums, I'm over here arguing all the time, fam. Oh, he's a bum. I'm like, he ain't no fucking bum. Do you know what the fuck he did in his last 5 fights? He just knocked 5 motherfuckers out. How you call him? You know what I'm saying? Because people over here in America don't know who these fighters are. I like their system. Whether these guys can get a contention or not, guess what they're doing? They're still getting paid. They're still doing what they love, and they're in contention. They're going to have fights. These guys fight 5 times a year. Some fight 3 times a year. The point is, over in America, God damn it, we just starting getting back to the days where Abdullah Mason, Keyshawn, and shit like that, where we seeing fighters fight 3 times or 5 times a year. Well, we've been in a drought for like what I want to say the 5, maybe 6 to 5 years of motherfuckers fighting once a year. Our stars are fighting once a year, and then when they get their ass whooped, people are surprised. How are you surprised? These motherfuckers are inactive. Inactivity is the number one killer of a boxer.
Yeah,
definitely.
But it's like they call these people Euro bums. You know, like let's go with Madrimov to start. Let's go with Madrimov. Everybody was, how come he's fighting Bud? He's only had 11 fights. Man, how many fucking amateur fights did this dude have?
Well,
right, and me and Punch was on here like, y'all don't know who that is? Like, this dude, he wild with it, but he winning. Like,
yeah,
but then you get the Aussie, and I'm going to keep going with Tim Tszyu because it's the one I know best. You know how many amateur fights Tim Tszyu had?
Right.
4. He had 4, and he lost one of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Because of his last name, he got promoted and pushed.
He got pushed. But it was the same thing about Anthony Joshua. I tell people, Anthony Joshua, they had that pedigree. Anthony Joshua kind of started, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people in America thought like he had this big old amateur back. I'm like, nah, my dude literally started late, came in, they pushed him. And you know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't understand that. Like it's different. It's so different. It's so different today. It's a different game. And for people to want to compare today's boxers to yesterday's boxers, you can't. You can't. Just what was that? Not yesterday. What's today? Friday? Wednesday. I was just talking about oh my God, my guy. Oh my God. Willie Pep. Willie Pep got in the air. He got in a fucking airplane crash, bro. Not a car crash, not a fucking train crash, a airplane crash, and still fought.
Yeah.
Still fought.
Yeah.
He retired with over 100-some fights with like under double digits losses. You understand what I'm saying?
But that's how the game's changed, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's different. It's so different.
Because back then, these dudes were fighting to eat. That's why they were fighting every 6 weeks.
Even
these days they're getting too much money, and then they just sit back.
But hold on, somebody said it to me. But we fast forward. We go to Sugar Ray Robinson. See, Sugar Ray Robinson was making that type of money. He owned 2 blocks. He owned every building on the block. He owned every cleaners, laundromat, club on the block. He just mismanaged his money. He had that type of money. But he even was putting in the work. 5 fights a year. You see what I'm saying? These guys lived what they said. These dudes today are not living what they say. They talk a good game. Let me tell you something. These guys got more interviews on YouTube than they got fights.
So true. So true.
That's dead right.
back then, they only did interviews when it was close to a fight.
And now it's so difficult for like I remember like 5-10 years ago when interviews with fighters were rare compared to now, so where they would get huge views. Now they only get like 1,000 or so views because everybody does interviews. And I have to co-sign what Paulie Malignaggi says, and I love Paulie. He said it best. Eastern European fighters are better, are more disciplined because they have the tougher road to get through. Like they have to go through umpteen fights, umpteen tournaments, umpteen big names in their hometown before anybody knows who they are. And I remember something, Hasim Ratman. It was he lost his title to Oleg Muskayev, an old for those who don't know, forgettable champion, but old school army officer, and he got knocked out. And Larry Merchant said on the broadcast, he said, "Joe Louis, where have you gone?" Because all of the heavyweight belts were in Eastern Europeans' hands. And he said, "Hasim, you're a smart guy. What do you think's happened to American boxing?" He said, "Maybe we're too spoiled. Maybe everyone gets paid too much money too early on."
There you go.
You know, when you I mean, I don't want to keep blaming Floyd Mayweather, because there are some things I like about Floyd. You know, I'm not obsessed with blaming everything on him like others. But just to make the point, he actually started fighting once a year when he was in his prime, and he was 30 when he beat Oscar De La Hoya, and he was the guy. And that's when he started saying, "Oh, I'm retired. Oh, I'm back in a year. Oh, I'm retired. Oh, I'm back in 2 years. I'm just out there doing things." And then he comes back. I think he took 16 months off after he beat Shane Mosley.
Had to be Shane Mosley.
It wasn't the first time he said that he was retiring, was to get out of the rematch with Oscar, wasn't it?
But let's go back to what you said though. You went to Oscar, right? Where the kids fuck up at, right, is before Oscar. Before Oscar, Pretty Boy Floyd was fighting all the damn time. Pretty Boy Floyd was fighting anybody. Pretty Boy Floyd kind of earned his right. Now, I'm not saying that I like the way he moved after Oscar. I'm not saying that, okay? But what I'm saying is that these kids today look at Money Mayweather opposed to Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd, these kids today should be looking at Pretty Boy Floyd, right?
Yeah, I don't remember
Don't
the
look
hard
at
one.
Money Mayweather. You looking at, you putting the cart before the horse. No, go look at the work that man put in, right? Because see, if people know the stories, like he got bought out his contract, right, from Top Rank, got himself out that contract, and then double back to make himself the man. It wasn't Oscar that made him. Everybody say Oscar made him. Oscar got him the money, okay? Oscar did not make him the man. You have to be the man to be worthy of that Oscar fight first. He beat Diego Corrales. He left Top Rank to prove a point, because Top Rank kept putting him on the undercard of Diego Corrales. And he said, "I'm the man." He said, "Get me out this fucking contract because y'all not going to push me." So what happened was he went back to prove to Top Rank what? I'm better than who? Diego Corrales. Did you see what he did to Diego?
Yeah, Mayweather earned his stripes 100%. Like,
that's right, and that made him the fucking man.
Oh,
see, these kids don't understand the roadblocks in the story, and you get what I'm saying? To lead up to Money Mayweather. You get what I mean?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I wasn't putting it all on Floyd. I was just saying, like, something he did contribute to as the face of boxing. But yeah, Floyd paid his dues. And I remember something Teofimo Lopez did when he beat Vasyl Lomachenko. And I think the world of Lomachenko, by the way. Absolutely huge fan of the guy, both as a fighter and as a man. And I remember when Teo said after the fight, he was asked about what's next. And he said, maybe I'll fight Devin. Maybe I'll move up in the... I haven't got much time at the weight. I'll move up and fight Josh Taylor. He said, everyone wants to be Money Mayweather, but you got to be Pretty Boy Floyd first.
That's right.
And as a fan, I could not I could not control my excitement. I thought, man, we got a superstar in our hands. This is going to be the next dude. And talking about divas, I mean, I like Tio, and Tio's always been great to me. When I've he's done interviews and I've put a super chat in with a question, he's always shouted me out. So I got love for the guy. But man, he's such a head case. Like he's like Jamal Charlo, man. Like, and it's like where's that blue collar working mentality? Like,
you're
talking about,
like,
man. It's just
that's exactly right.
Don't have it.
And I had picked him to beat Lomachenko, and I caught so much shit over here for that, and he won. And I was like, I told you, like the thing is Teofimo has the goods, right? It's not his skill set, it's his IQ, right? He's able to measure a fight while he's fighting. And that's the beautiful thing about it. But somewhere along the line, I don't know where the fuck that shit went. That shit that went out the window. I don't know. But he needs to get
out the window when Kambosos beat him.
Yeah, that shit. Shit back, bro. Because I don't know if he got full of himself too early or what. He did. But I mean, he need to get it together. He need to get it together. If anybody need to take a sabbatical, it was him. He need to take a step back, get his mind back right, and come back to the Gordo that I know. Cause see, when I got a hold of him, he was called Gordo. People didn't call him.
To me, he should have went straight back to Kambosos again. That's what he should have done.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. And right that wrong. Exactly. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. But like, I don't know. But hopefully, with all the shenanigans he pulling right now, because I'm not a fan of none of that shit. But this the hurt sport. Get your ass in the ring. I like that he got the fight. Take it. Barbosa is a good opponent. I hope they can make the most out of it, because Barbosa reminds me of I get that Benavidez, the one that Jamal beat. He reminds me of him. Like, he can get stagnant at times. He can stand there in front of you and make you feel, he got that bravado about him where he feel like the bravado is gonna propel him. If he can make that dude like light work, we can get a Teofimo back on top. I'm with it, right? But if he doesn't perform well, Teo needs to understand, if he doesn't perform well, he could win. If he doesn't perform well, the fans not gonna rally behind him. They're just not. I don't see it. I don't see it. But I do want to get your take while I got you on Fight Night. Devin Haney. What do you make of his fight coming up?
Well, it's interesting. I think, and I've had some great discussions with some of Devin Haney's biggest fans, members of the LDBC. So they disagree with me on this.
I don't miss.
I think, I understand. It's not. They've always been good to me, but I understand. They disagree with me on this. I think Devin deliberately took time off because, to an extent, steroids or not, he was affected by the loss because, again, PEDs or no PEDs, a fight did happen. So I think he was mentally affected by that. So I think he chose to take this time off. I personally don't think he did. I don't think he wanted the rematch with Ryan immediately. I think he should beat Ramirez well, if he's anything of what he used to be, because Ramirez is just so easy to hit. Like, he doesn't set shots up very well. He leads with his right hand a lot. He's basic. He's not particularly fast. So Devin should be able to pick him apart if he's anything decent. But we don't know what kind of shape he'll be in upstairs, because, Garcia did hit him a lot with that left hook. So
he is deep.
But he's good. And it's not here's the thing. I don't begrudge a young fighter for being affected by a defeat, but it's just the extent that the Haneys go to. Like, he's beefing, like Gabe Rosado says, Ramirez is a tough fight to come back to. And he loses his mind over it, and like he's out here cussing people out of nowhere. It's like just, are you really? I don't know. Also, I mean, I don't mind. I don't support everything the Haneys do, but I do like the fact that they're passionate. But if you keep saying, this is our era, this is the Devin Haney era, we're going to hold you to that standard. That's what it is.
I like the fact that they both they both finally kind of came out and said that Devin lost that fight and it was his fault, right? Which is, I feel like that's all everybody wanted to hear. Granted, PDs was involved, but the thing is that you were involved as well. You were in that fight, and you were running to the same left hand and rights, and you didn't make the adjustment. So I'm glad they came out and admitted that, like, okay, we fucked up, But at the same time, to pick Ramirez, well, a lot of people don't understand this. Like, they've been eyeing Ramirez a long time. You go look at past Ramirez fights and find them in the crowd. To take this fight, knowing that Ramirez has a left hook, knowing that Ramirez, technically his last fight, he was supposed to come back at 140. He was supposed to come back at 147, but he took it for the money. He was doing what his promoter told him to do. I don't know if they know if this is possibly another monstrous fight for them. Now, I want Devin to win, believe it or not. I really do. But I'm like on that fence of PTSD kicks in. What's going to happen when you see that left hook? It ain't even got to connect. Just the fact that it goes before your face. That's what I'm worried about. I feel like out of this entire card, Devin Haney has the toughest fight out of everyone.
Yes, I agree. I think Teo has got the toughest fight in terms of credentialed opponent. Like, because I'm seriously tempted to pick Barboza to win. I'm starting to get Cambosa's vibes with the way like Teo's going to such an extent to try and act tough and intimidate him. Like it reminds me of the Cambosa's fight. But Devin's got the most to prove just because of the experience he went through. And yeah, I mean, when I never believed. I actually had a video come out the day after, or actually no, the day he did test positive. I never believed his excuses from the start. But PDs or no PDs, a fight did happen, and it's hard to say whether it's all down to PDs. Like they were trying to get the fight overturned to a DQ win, and it's like, James Toney didn't have his win against John Ruiz overturned to a loss. It was overturned to a no contest. So it's like, that was always they were never going to get that.
Right.
And then they went from, so I don't know. Well, I mean, the Haneys, I've got mixed feelings on the Haneys, like I do with every fighter. Like he's good. I don't know whether he's as good as they say, but I do appreciate that when he got rocked by Linares, an ancient version of Linares, and even Jojo Diaz kind of buzzed him. We were all saying, well, you're supposed to be a slick fighter, so that shouldn't be happening. But
there you go. That's right.
I thought, again, I think the world of Vasyl Lomachenko, both as a fighter and as a man. I thought Loma was going to kill him in that 12th round. And instead, Devin, he didn't run or hide. He bit down on his mouthpiece and said, let's go. So Devin showed heart, and I appreciate that. And I did videos after the Ryan Garcia fight before the test came out. I asked the question, Devin showed heart in that fight, but he kept getting hit by the same punch. I was like, was he only successful because Loma was old and he's so much bigger than his opponents? I don't know.
It was when the Loma fight happened, I was live. And we do live fights too, by the way, every Saturday. So whatever fights is on, we're doing them over here. It's like a watch party, just to give you a heads up.
I'll call him, bro. Thanks.
But yeah. So like, what I have this thing where if you keep feeding a fighter fish, right, he's not gonna know how to fish on his own. So like, everybody Devin fought was smaller than him, right? So when he
not just smaller, but sorry, just big. They were a lot smaller. Like even when he stepped up to, when he stepped up to 140, Regis Prograis looked like he was like 20 pounds.
Exactly.
Sorry,
and that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because when they fought, he was like 20-some pounds heavier than Regis. But like, you fought Loma and he was a naturally 130 pounder. Right? Naturally, he's 130 pounder. That's where Loma should have stayed. Right? He went in for the money. But like, this little guy was holding his own with you, bro. Like, I felt like Loma won that fight. That's just my opinion. Now, when I rewatched the fight, it was close. And I was like, okay, I can see how people could say Devin won, but I would have been happy with a draw. But to say that like Devin, how people came out the next day was like Devin dominated, I was like, no way. And then and Bobby rewatched that fight. I'm like, if he had trouble with a 130-pound motherfucker, that dude, Devin looked like the Incredible Hulk next to Lomachenko. And Lomachenko rattled him more than once. We heard the major one in the corner. Daddy, it's like he know what I'm doing before I do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what to do with that. And I gave him props for standing in there with a technician like that. But to not want to give him a rematch, to not want to mess with him again, you know, whatnot. I was like, come on, bro. And then he didn't even use his normal tricks on you because you was complaining about it during the lead up. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Sorry to interrupt, man, but
no, you good.
I mean, I don't begrudge a fighter for talking trash and everything, like, but we just because I mean, again, we're analysts, we're fans, we've been fans for a long time, so we do ask the questions when people are acting when young guys are challenging legends and they're acting all jittery and nervous. It's like, well, is this a sign that you may crack? Like Tio handled it against Lomachenko when a lot of people wrote him off. I mean, I certainly picked Loma to win, but then he didn't hold it together against against Kambosos of all people. Like,
that was
suddenly
crazy, bro.
No game plan, no nothing. He's just like, go out, like knock him out.
But was it not but did it not remind you what you saw with Devin and Ryan? Like, I'm just going out there, wing it. I'm gonna fight the guy and fuck the game plan. That's what that shit looked like.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, he did. I mean, here's the thing:
fighting dumb will get you beat.
Yeah, fighting dumb will get you beat.
Yeah, he did well for the first 6 rounds, but after that, he was just so hittable. And the way my channel, I got very lucky after that fight because I broke down how the referee let Haney get away with so much clinching. Like, I maintain if Devin wasn't allowed to clinch so much, Ryan would have knocked him out. And,
even when he counted, he said 5. He counted. I said, what is he doing, bro?
Yeah, I got lucky. That video got a lot of views, but yeah, it's a good thing that he showed heart because let's not forget, you know, when Garcia got knocked down against Tank, he flat out quit. He said, I'll see you later. But the thing is, I certainly don't rank Garcia. I don't have much hopes for Garcia. I think, you know, talking about guys who get too much money early on, I think he's the worst case. Because at least Devin and Tio have gone out to prove something. But, you know, Tio, I'm just waiting for him to lose his mind again. And with Devin, we just don't know because it's one thing to look slick. It's a good thing that, you know, you're known for being slickster and stuff. But when he was built up for being the next Floyd Mayweather, you're like, well, we don't know because you're not fighting anyone. And then he steps up And these old guys like Linares, and Jojo Diaz wasn't old, but he was tiny. Yeah. And then Lomachenko, they're touching him up. And it's like, okay, how are you going to look when you don't cut weight? And then he looks amazing against Prograis. But then the Garcia fight, it's like, well, there's I'm just.
It was somebody his weight. It was somebody his weight. It was somebody that was in his range. And salute to the Haney's, because when I first started this channel, they gave us our first interview, no doubt, and it was during the Linares fight, directly after that. And my thing was that's when the narrative started. I think Devin showed you he had a chin. Well, first off, nobody should have got to his chin. There's that. See, I have a problem with where you try to right a wrong and use another wrong to right the wrong, and that's not it. That's not it. If it was in the midst of a chain reaction of punches, right, and he weathered it, that's different. When you get cold cocked at the bell, he shouldn't even got that off. You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference, right? You can't tell me you have a chin because you didn't go down. And then later on, you get hit in the chin and you do go down 3 times and you get up and say you have a chin. No, that's not having a chin. I don't like things like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, that doesn't mean no other fighter's not like that. It's just that you need to work on your defense. And I have this thing where I don't even know if I ever talked about it, to be honest with you, but like today's fight, okay, let me say it like this. I'm talking too fast. They mask their defense with a lot of punches, right? A lot of fighters today don't have defense, bro. They don't. They think I can throw a shitload of punches and barely bring my hands back under my chin, and I got defense, bro. And then they get caught, and they be like, "What the fuck happened?" You don't have any defense. They head on the line. They standing too square. It's weird to me now, and I'm like, okay, so who the fuck are the coaches? Like, who's coaching this shit? Who's letting them do this? Who's letting them stand square like that? Who's not telling them when they shoot a jab, bring your fucking hand right back? Who is telling them these things? And so when if you go back and watch Devin, when everybody talk about the bow and arrow, right? The bow and arrow jab. He'll shoot the bow and arrow jab, but fuck the bow and arrow jab because he gets it off a lot, right? We all agree. He's been doing his whole life. But when they come back, where does his hand go? Right under his chin like this. It's right here. It's not here. It's here. He has no defense. And it only took a matter of time. So if it's nothing to come over to what I'm trying to say is what Ryan did was nothing of real significance. It's because if he gonna throw over the top of the jab when it came back, it was lowering anyways. It was coming to his chest and not his face. You understand what I'm saying? And then when you go back and watch a Keyshawn, go back and watch a Keyshawn. Go back and watch Devin. Go back and watch these young fighters. The only one I know that bring his shit back to his face is Abdullah Mason and Shakur Stevenson. But go watch all these other. They don't have defense, bro.
Yeah,
they don't
a
move
lot of young people. We had this discussion the other day.
Yeah,
have you ever tried to tell a fucking 18 to 25-year-old these days what to do and how to fucking do it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen.
I watched boxers go under.
I'm just talking in life, not boxing.
No. I'm agreeing with you, Mark. They act like they know it all. I watched boxers go under. I'm talking real life. Go under. They'll come up with nothing. They put themselves right back in the same. What did you dodge a punch for? To come back up and put yourself in the same predicament. You get what I'm saying? Take that same
Yeah,
scenario I
and-
just gave you and go back to some old time boxing, smoking Joe, and watch what he dipped under, what he came up with. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, Joe Frazier. I mean, Joe Frazier is I'm waiting for Usyk to retire before I do my top 10 all-time heavyweights, because Usyk is in the top 10, but if he keeps fighting and winning, then he goes higher. But Frazier is definitely top 10 in my books. I mean, look who we beat with one eye, for fuck's sakes. But
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, if I could just plug my channel again, I did a number of videos after the Haney Garcia fight, and this was well before the failed test. One of those videos I brought up something Andre Durrell said, where, because Andre Durrell, you know, he was never a world champion, but he sparred all the big names, and he gave them all, like, he might have actually been pound the best sparring partner ever. Like, and I remember he said in an interview with Fight Hub, he said, or he said on his own Instagram, whichever, he basically said that Devin and his dad are trying to act like they're big time Money Mayweather tycoons when they haven't even paid their dues yet. And I wasn't sure what to make of that, because on one hand, you don't see Devin out there drinking and you know, partying, like, and losing his mind like the Charlos or Broner or anything. But on the other hand, I was like, well, for a slick fighter who's built up to be the next Mayweather, he was damn hittable. And I was thinking, I was like, we're like, say, like, guys like Floyd, guys like Pernell Whitaker, you know, even a guy who really needed discipline, Andre Ward, because Andre Ward was not a good athlete. These guys, they had the craft needed to be defensive geniuses. And Haney, again, we don't know how much of it was down to PEDs, but it's he was not a defensive genius against Garcia.
Right.
And I also don't begrudge the Haneys for being upset that Garcia cheated, but yeah, you said it best, man. They tried to act like the fight didn't happen. It's like, well, he failed a test, but you know, a fight did happen, and you did get pinged by the left hook repeatedly in the last.
We all saw it.
So,
we all saw that shit.
But we'll see. I mean, I do have slightly more hope for the Haneys than I do for Tio, because I just have a feeling as soon as Tio loses, like, Tio takes no responsibility for anything. And the thing about Haney is that he, you know, I thought Lomachenko beat him fairly clearly, but it wasn't a robbery. And again, I was impressed that Haney, when I thought he was going to get smoked in the 12th round, he showed heart. So I give him credit there. And I do like, we're going to see how he responds to adversity for the first time. Whereas we've seen Tio respond to adversity, and it's always the same thing. It was everybody's fault except me. And that's never a good thing. So
that the Haney Garcia and Teofimo fight, that's next weekend, yeah?
Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Is that on a Saturday? Is that on a Saturday over there?
No, that's a Friday. That's a Friday.
Oh, it's a Friday. Okay, so it'll be a
Friday
Saturday morning.
here. And then Canelo Saturday.
Is it at night time though, or
I think
Friday
so.
night there?
Friday night, I think.
I'm just trying to work out my times. That's all.
And then Saturday Canelo, and then you got what's my boy name? The Monster.
I'm not interested in that Canelo fight. He gonna kill that dude.
Anyway, Sunday.
In a way, Inouye's one of my favorite fighters. Period.
Yeah,
I love watching that guy fight.
The beast, bro. He's a beast, 100%. I can't wait.
He's a good fighter, but I'll tell you, there's two fighters I'd like to see drug tested, and that's Inouye's one, and fucking and Tank Davis is the other. They got suspect power for their side. I'm telling you now.
Oh,
it was a guy.
We know PBC don't do drug testing.
It was a guy before them named Dorchinian. He was little as fuck, and he was knocking everybody the fuck out. He come every once in a while, bro.
Yeah, but to me, I don't know.
Yeah, he was like Showtime's golden boy at that time.
We know what RC told us about PBC and in-house fights. That's all Tank has. Yeah. And I don't know what they're doing in Japan, who knows what they're doing over there. So,
well, I did a video on this after Inoue's win over Lewis Neary last year. I don't know if even my favorite fighters, I don't rule out anybody. Like when I was a teenager, I never wanted to believe anyone was cheating. Then in my 20s, I started thinking, okay, most of them are cheating. Now I think, including the fighters I want to interview, I think they could all. I don't put anybody above suspicion. But it is
I think they're all doing it. They're all doing it. Just that some of them can time the cycling off better than others.
Hell yeah.
Well, there's some guys whose entire style revolves around cheating. Like Jarrell Miller's entire fighting style was built around shooting up pharmacies, crying out loud. Like he was on everything.
Right.
I don't know how much Garcia was on, but I don't know. I don't put anyone above suspicion. It's actually getting kind of late here, guys, so I'm going to have to head off. But bro, I'd love the discussion. Thank you for having me on.
That's what's up. Anytime, man. You see me on here, man. Hey, come on back on.
What's the time in New Zealand right now?
It's coming up to 6 p.m. So got some evening stuff to do.
So it'd be like 10 to 6.
Yeah, 10 to 6.
Yeah, okay. Because it's 1:50 where I am. I'm in Western Australia, so it's 1:50 here. So you're you're 4 hours.
Yeah. That down right here so I can get everything straight for tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be on for tomorrow, man.
All right.
Lucy, man. Everybody go sub up to Fight Sports, man. 100%.
What were we calling you? What were we calling the Kiwi fellow? What did he say to call him? Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he said call him Jay. But
Jay, that's right. Yeah,
Fight Sports.
Okay.
Y'all go check
I'm
out
gonna go over there and sub up. I'm gonna go and sub up now. So
that's what it do, man. Look, what's your poll results? Let me see.
Yeah, what's the poll?
Damn, Eubank Jr. Eubank Jr.
Right.
That's what the poll say. 58% Eubank Jr., 42% Ben. We gonna see tomorrow.
I went kind of Ben.
Yeah,
purely because of the way what they look like the way. And
yeah, me too. That's why I based it off to Ben. But you got if Eubank is smart, he'll drag him to deep waters. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. But all right, Mark, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this thing down, man.
I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Bet that. Appreciate you.
All right. See you, bud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, everybody, man. So everybody over there on Facebook that's showing that love, hitting that like button, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button no matter where you at Facebook. If you over there on X, if you over here on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, man. And if you want to come on to YouTube, make sure you hit at GMT Sports. Come on over, hit that subscribe button. If you're already over here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. No doubt, 100%, 100%. You know what I'm talking about? And my boy ran up off here, but this was for him, 100%.
Do you suffer from a lack of a father figure? Do you have clinical depression? Have you ever accidentally broken your mom's favorite coffee cup, and when she found out you did it, she tied you to a bed and spanked you with a metal spatula? If you said yes to any of these things, I don't care. And to keep it a bean, no one cares.
Salute to that, man. That was for you, bro. But yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't care. But look, tomorrow we will be back on, I want to say 11 a.m. Central Time, but might be a little later than that. Might be, but y'all make sure y'all show up and show out 100%. You feel me? And I'm finna get up out of here, man. We had some great talk. Salute to Fight Night for coming through, though, bro. Real talk. Like I said, go subscribe to my boy. All right, go subscribe to him. You know his shit. All right. Other than that, I'm up out of here, man. Y'all be easy and do what it say right here, man. Quit bullshit. I'm up out of here. Y'all be easy, man. Deuces.